I'm going to be showing you over 70 different niches from AI, web design and e-commerce management, software development, graphic design, video editing, animation, 3D design, packaging, SEO, writing, sound and music, business, and ad management, aka SMMA. After you watch this entire video, you'll have no excuse not to start, because in this list, there's gonna be a niche for every single one of you guys. Over 70 niches to choose from. This is gonna be incredible, guys. So, you know, just one order and you make a couple of $3,000 of profit in one go, guys. So this niche is absolutely very, very profitable. And before we go any further, guys, I have a very exciting announcement, guys. I've just been invited to join official Fiverr influencer program, guys. I actually got an affiliate link and I'm gonna put my affiliate on the screen right now and also in the comments. And by no means I actually promote you using just Fiverr, guys. If you want to use Upwork for drop servicing, or if you want to use people per hour or freelancer.com or any other website, feel free to do so. But guys, honestly, I've been using Fiverr for over 5 years, and this is by every single metric for me the best place to actually find freelancers. So basically, if you're going to be using Fiverr anyway, please register with my link. Okay, so guys, now let's start talking about all these niches, guys. This is going to be absolutely amazing. So guys, the first niche is going to be synthetic voiceovers, and it is going to be in the AI sections. So what we need to do, guys, right now is we need to go to fiverr.com and navigate to AI services and click on voice synthetics and AI. Click on that, okay? And guys, before we go any further, I just want to explain you very, very quickly what a drop servicing is, in case you're not familiar with this business model. Drop servicing basically means that we are reselling a service to individuals and businesses outside of Fiverr, outside of Upwork, and outside of people per hour, and we're charging a lot more to these businesses and individuals, and we're then outsourcing the work to Fiverr, Upwork, people per hour, freelancer.com, and similar kind of websites. And of course, we're charging a lot more to our clients and paying a lot less to our suppliers and pocketing the difference in the meantime. And we need to manage all of this process. But guys, you know, effectively, all you're doing is you're just chatting or calling with the client. That's it, guys. You don't actually need any single skill that I'm about to show in this 70 niches list. Okay, so first of all, guys, let's have a look at this listing and let's have a look at this listing. So have a listen to this.
A professional voice actor is a great option. But when you're looking to create something on...
Can you listen how real this sounds? This sounds like a British voice, like an actual British voice. Really, not many people would understand that this is actually AI. Have a listen to this one.
Are you apart? Our unbeatable affordability
Skilled team offers a diverse range of mesmerizing options.
This is really cool, guys, you know, and the prices are not that crazy. As you can see, there's 2 orders in the queue. Okay, so basically you can actually resell this to businesses and people in all kinds of markets. Okay, let's talk about the next niche, chatbots. Okay, let's go again back to AI services and go to AI chatbots. Right, so what kind of chatbots can we actually use? So have a look at this one, okay? Have a look at this one. Have a look at this one. Okay, so essentially what we can do is we can actually resell Instagram and Facebook page integrations, where you can integrate ChatGPT and you can integrate it with, Instagram, with Telegram, with Facebook Messenger, and similar kinds of things. So basically, this person would actually create a chatbot, and as you can see, there's 4 orders in a queue. So people are ordering this stuff, and this is definitely a very, very new listing because chatbots hasn't been around for that long. Okay, guys, and basically all it means that we can resell this service to businesses outside of Fiverr, right? And we can offer them, chatbot integration with, as I said, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp. So all it means that, for example, people could actually message WhatsApp and WhatsApp would reply back to them their specific questions. So for example, somebody messages WhatsApp business page and asks, what are your opening hours? And this chatbot would actually reply straight away without the owner even being involved. The same thing, guys, with Instagram. For example, there could be an Instagram page where let's say you're a fitness coach, right? And somebody could actually message your Instagram page asking what is the pricing. And this chatbot could actually reply without the owner even being involved. So basically, this is really cool. And how these chatbots can be used, this is absolutely really, really useful. And this is a very, very new niche, guys. There's not that much competition. Like, how many pages are actually using ChatGPT AI chatbots with their Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Telegram? Almost nobody's using. 99% of businesses are not using that. So this niche is really, really new. And if you get in now, this can be a really, really good money-making opportunity for you for years to come. Okay, let's look at this one. Also, this guy is actually promising to integrate it to apps. Okay, so perhaps you have your own app, so he can integrate it into startups and small businesses in their custom apps, not just into the well-known apps like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and stuff like this. Let's have a look into the things that the feedbacks that he got. Amazing. He is really on the next level compared to other developers. Really cool, guys. Okay, so as you can see what he did here, he's a full expert in Python with specialty NLP, OCR, and API integration. So as you can see, this guy seems to be quite legit. And in this category, you're not going to have that much competition, because have a look at this. With just 11 feedbacks, he has 2 orders in the queue. In other categories, this is unheard of, because this is a very, very new category. Let's look at this one quickly. Okay, so he is actually able to integrate it into blogs and websites, guys. Okay, this is also another thing. So not just apps, but also blogs and websites. And you might think like, okay, how can you actually integrate it, AI chatbots into websites? Again, the same thing. Talking about phone numbers, talking about specific information like opening hours and stuff like that. You can have a chat thing on your website. So for example, if you have a client who has a website, right, and it's difficult to find opening hours, or people are constantly asking for the same questions, you can actually create a chatbot for them, right? And if somebody comes to their website, a chat button pops in. If they click on it, they can actually type in something like, what's the opening hours of your restaurant? What's the opening hours of your law practice? What's the opening hours of your dental clinic? And if you create an app integration like this with a chatbot, which will actually communicate with the website chat function could actually reply to your to the visitors of the website without the website's owner actually replying. So it can happen absolutely automatically. Okay. And of course, AI will need to be programmed a little bit to actually give it some information, so it knows what the opening hours are, so it knows what the services are, so it knows what kind of discount codes the business is offering, guys. So as you can see, this is absolutely really, really, really good service. Okay, guys, now let's go to the next one. Mid-journey art. The next niche is actually really, really, really exciting, guys, and there's a lot of demand right now for this. So guys, as you can see, there's over 10,000 services available. And why is that? Because Mid-Journey is now absolutely on fire, guys. Okay, so what Mid-Journey is basically an AI tool that is actually generating images for people and businesses. So let's look at the first few examples. So what Midjourney can actually do is it can create some really cool specialized, logos and images like that are fully made by AI. As you can see, all of these look really futuristic and really, really not what a human would make. A lot of them are really, really strange, but some of them are really, really cool. And as you can see, there's 3 orders in the queue there, 2 orders in the queue there, 0 orders in the queue there, but we have a lot of people coming back again on both of these. So that's really cool. And you have a look at this. Like, people usually cannot make something like this. This is really made by AI. And these look really futuristic. This is like specific style that AI can actually do. And also look at these wallpapers. AI also is really good at that as well. And also, how could you use that? Like, think about it. Like, let's say you're looking for a client. How could you use that? Something that clients will print and actually hang on a wall. That could be one example. They could use it as Instagram cover, Facebook cover, YouTube cover, or any other avatar for their social social media and stuff like this, guys. You know, the imagination is your limit when it comes to how you can actually resell these kind of services. But I'm telling you guys, have a look at this. For example, NFTs as well. You know, a lot of people are using Midjourney and similar kind of things to actually create some specific anime and NFTs and all kinds of things when it comes to that, guys. And as you can see, the reviews for this are incredible. So 5 stars there, we have 5 stars there, we have 5 stars there, and we have 5 stars there. And why do you think the reviews are really good? Because it's a new category and people's expectations are not that high yet. And also AI is really, really good. Look at these images. I mean, some of these images are really, actually really cool. Look at this one. I mean, it's really cool. And, you know, people who actually know how to use these images, they will know how to actually make money with them. And, you know, if they order from you, you just need to find a market for people who actually are into these kinds of things, and then you can resell it to them. So for example, you can resell this at, let's say, $50 or $100, okay, guys? And then of course you use this supplier to actually then fulfill the order. And you don't need to know Midjourney. You don't need to know anything about Midjourney. In fact, all of this is going to be drop serviced from Fiverr or Upwork or people per hour. But, you know, I'm using Fiverr for the ease of use, guys. Okay, let's talk about the next one. The next niche is actually AI music videos, guys. We're going really fast because we have still a lot of niches to go through, guys. So this is basically AI generated music videos. So go to AI services and then go to AI music videos. Click on it. And I've just actually opened a few of these and I'm going to show you a few of the examples, guys. Have a look at this one. This is really cool, guys. This is absolutely really cool. Like a human could not actually make this. And have a look at this. 7 orders in the queue. Well, humans could make this, but it would actually take a lot of time. This is like really time consuming. And AI can actually make this, look, in 3 days. This is absolutely really, really cool. Now, look at this one. 11 orders in the queue, guys. This is absolutely really, really cool. This is really cool, guys. Really, really cool. Have a look at this one, guys. 3 orders in the queue. No, this is amazing, guys. I could watch these AI videos all day long. Okay, guys. Now let's go to the next one. AI spokesperson. This sounds really weird and really complicated. AI spokesperson? What the heck is that? Well, I'm going to show you in a second. By the way, guys, AI category is actually quite new to Fiverr. And, you know, this is even a new category altogether on Fiverr, okay? So basically, all it is we can actually find sellers who are actually making videos simulating real people talking. Let's have a look at this. 2 orders in the queue.
Hi, I'm Ellie. Welcome to my Fiverr gig, where I offer an exciting...
So basically, all it means that, you know, AI can create not just the voiceover, but also animation of somebody actually talking. So you can actually resell the same thing to businesses and individuals outside of Fiverr. And of course, charge around, you know, 5 or 10 times more for this. So for example, charge $500 to make an AI video with, you know, their branding, their text, their voiceover, whatever. And, you know, this seller is actually going to be able to fulfill and make that AI video. Let's look at this example.
Hello and welcome to my gig. This video...
Some of these actually look very robotic, but even this one, look, 2 orders in the queue. There's very little competition, guys, and you can definitely resell these kind of videos because, you know, it's a new thing. Like, people are interested in making AI videos for people stuff, for marketing purposes.
is a...
For more targeted influence over...
This looks a bit better, and, you know, also, this really could be part of some specific presentation or something like this for corporate clients.
For your audience.
This is really cool. Let's have a look at this one.
Are you looking for a way to promote your brand
Guys,
and
this
stand
looks...
out from the crowd? Do you want
This looks a lot more natural.
to engage your audience and deliver your
Yours succeed using the latest AI
Wow, this looks really, really natural.
powered tools. I'll create a custom spokesperson
Wow, this one is good. 1 order in the queue, but look, I mean, I cannot even tell if this is a real person almost.
video that perfectly
Custom text overlay, logo integration, and
Oh my gosh. Wow, this is really realistic.
background customer specific needs.
This is really cool, guys. Okay, let's go look at the next niche, guys. We need to go fast. So now we're going to be talking about web design and e-commerce management. So the first niche is WordPress design. Okay, so what we're going to be doing, guys, is we're going to be going to type in just WordPress in there. So basically, all it means that you can actually help businesses and individual clients to actually create a WordPress website or modify WordPress website, integrate some plugins. So basically, this guy can create you a full-on WordPress website. As you can see, there's 4 orders in a queue, and for a single page website, he's charging $300. By the way, guys, on Fiverr, I'm always telling you, you don't have to go for the top results. You can just navigate to like page 10 and you're gonna basically spend $50 for the same thing that's costing $300 at the top.
Hi Fiverr, my name's Neil. For the past 15...
So this guy is basically a professional web designer, and I think he's from the United Kingdom. That's why he's charging $300. But as I said, guys, somebody from India, Pakistan, and similar kind of countries could actually make a WordPress website for, you know, pennies. For example, $50 or something like that. And you can actually resell that website for $500, $600, $700, $800. You know, websites is one of the biggest niches when it comes to drop servicing, guys. This is bread and butter stuff. Okay, let's look at this one. So he can actually integrate VP Forms, WooCommerce, Shopify, and there's a few examples, guys. So WordPress is actually one of the most common website builder, and it's an open source software that you can easily use yourself. But again, guys, we're talking about drop servicing. So, you know, again, this guy, for example, for $395, he can install WordPress on your hosting and create a customized landing design. And it's going to take 4 days for him. And there's going to be unlimited revision. 1 order is in the queue for this gig. Guys, again, we're talking about actually drop servicing. So basically reselling WordPress web designs to clients outside of Fiverr and making money. Okay, guys, the next thing is Shopify. Okay, what is Shopify? You know, a lot of you probably have heard about it, but, you know, have you ever actually tried making your own Shopify website? Guys, honestly, this is very simple on paper, but it's actually really, really, really annoying. And why is it annoying? Because if you really actually want to get into Shopify properly, if you really want to create a very, very good Shopify website, if you really want to, for example, migrate your products, as this guy is saying, from WordPress to Shopify and stuff like this. And if you need to do it from scratch, guys, it can actually take a few days. And a lot of people really just don't want to do it. It's like IKEA furniture. Of course, every single person in the world can probably, you know, assemble IKEA furniture, but some people just don't want to do it. They just want to pay somebody to actually do it for them, so they just get the convenience, so they just save their time. So as you can see, guys, so these people are offering everything. Customized design, you know, integrating social media, making it mobile responsive. Actually, by default, Shopify is going to be, you know, mobile responsive. They can add your brand logo, high quality images and stuff like that, guys. And as you can see, there is a lot of these listings. Yeah, 1 order in the queue there. And, you know, for example, this person is actually going to integrate Shopify, add a premium template, also find you some hot selling products apparently. Well, how do they know that? But, you know, if they knew that, that would be amazing. But anyways, guys, they can also set up 4 apps, because here's the thing, guys, Shopify actually has a their own like app store where you need to install some apps if you want to use, for example, payments, if you want to collect people's email addresses and all kinds of things. You know, Shopify App Store is actually really, really big, and there's a lot of different apps that you can actually you know, offer to your clients to set up. So maybe you can find a client who's actually already a Shopify seller, but was looking to actually integrate a specific app and he doesn't know how to do it. Or you can actually contact some Shopify store owners and say like, look, I can help you to, for example, upsell to more clients. And, you know, all I need is I just need to jump on a call. I'm going to explain how it works, and then you can help them. And basically, all you need to do, guys, is you need to find somebody who can actually integrate a plugin into any Shopify store, who will, for example, upon exit will actually display a pop-up where if a client leaves their email address and they can get some kind of a discount, and that way, that business is actually going to get a lot more clients, guys. And this is super simple to do with all kinds of Shopify plugins, and a lot of Shopify owners don't even know that. But if you know that, you can actually resell a service like that super simply. You just need to find Shopify store owners. So the next niche is Wix website design. So guys, we just go to fiverr.com and type in Wix and click enter. Okay, so I've actually opened a few of these listings, and basically what is Wix? Wix is basically a website builder where you can actually easily create your own website. But again, guys, some people just don't want to do this stuff. They just want to pay somebody to actually create their own website, set it up exactly as they want, add the images, add the logos, add the videos and stuff like that. They just don't want to get their hands messy, or they just don't have the time. So guys, you can easily find people, and again, have a look at this, 22 people in the queue. Have a look at this one, 2 orders in the queue, 2 orders in the queue, guys. So this is actually a very, very popular thing. So for $295, this guy is going to actually set up you a custom Wix design. It's going to be mobile responsive, and he's going to actually do basic SEO for your Wix. And these are the features that he's actually showing there. Have a look at this one, guys. So modern and stunning, mobile responsive, free SEO optimized website, and he's giving even lifetime support, which is really, really cool, guys. So for $100. And let's look at this one. So basically, this guy will do the same thing. So he will develop a Wix website, or he can actually redesign an existing Wix website. So it includes free SEO, unlimited revisions, and future support. So a similar kind of thing to the previous one. And for $80, you can do that. So guys, what you can do is you can identify some websites that are built with Wix, and you can ask them, do you need to actually redesign your website? Or you can find businesses that don't currently have a website and offer them to actually build a custom website for them. And you can, of course, use Wix and then actually get one of these guys to actually create that website. And then you can, of course, sell it at, I don't know, $500, $600, $700, and then spend $80 or so on Fiverr to actually then drop service that and pocket the difference, guys. So the next niche is actually Squarespace web design. Guys, here's the thing. I've actually just opened a few of these listings. Let's look at this one. 6 orders in the queue there, 2 orders in the queue there, 2 orders in the queue there. Okay, so basically, here's the thing, guys. Squarespace is also a web design builder that can basically create you a website in a few minutes, guys. It's super simple. But a lot of people still hesitate to do this. And also, this can include some SEO things. This can include also, uploading products, uploading images and stuff like that. And some people just don't want to get their hands dirty. So this niche is also very, very similar to the previous one, basically, which was Wix, and also to WordPress. But, some people will specifically want you to actually create them a Squarespace website. This is because they know this brand, for example. So if you find a client who is telling you, I want to create my website in WordPress, then you just navigate to Fiverr or People Per Hour or Upwork and find a freelancer who is actually has knowledge with WordPress, or the same thing with Wix, or the same thing with Squarespace. You can always find people on People Per Hour, Upwork, and Fiverr who are able to actually deliver that service when it comes to web design, and you can just order it from here, and you guys just need to charge more from your client, and then charge pay these suppliers, and of course pocket the difference, guys. So the next one is actually landing page. What do I mean by that? Landing page, what does that actually mean? Well, let's type in landing page, and I'm quickly going to explain to you what landing page actually means. So landing page basically means that it is a website like this, where basically somebody comes to the website, and there's usually like a call to action, and there's usually just like one page, kind of small piece of information, small piece of form or something like that, where people can leave their name, email, phone number, and get a free consultation, for example, like in this case, or they can subscribe to a newsletter or something like that. So basically, landing page just, it's a page where people just go to actually check out some information and sign up for some specific service or something like that. So it's basically a page that is just a single page. So landing page doesn't mean this page has to just have the contact form, it can be like this. Like it can have a lot more stuff, but usually there's no functionality. There's no like logins. There's no like ordering. There's no e-commerce. It's just basically a simple page which usually has some information and some kind of a contact form or something like that, guys. But in almost all cases, landing page is about something being in the works, some exciting thing being launched soon or something like that, where people can get some information and then leave their email, phone number or something to sign up in anticipation of something happening. That's usually how landing pages are actually used, or for email collection. Okay, let's now talk about portfolio websites. Okay, so what is portfolio website niche and how you can actually resell that? So guys, here's the thing. Let's open a few of these examples. So basically, portfolio website basically means that you're going to be working with people like photographers, architects, and similar kind of people who just need a website to showcase their work. Okay, and let's look at a few of these examples. For example, this one. It doesn't really look that relevant because it's more like coaching and stuff like that. Let's look at this one. Maybe this guy. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. So in this case, there is like a bio of this person. It talks about him. It has his CV or professional experience, and then it has his work. Usually a portfolio website actually has some kind of a description. It says like something like, "Hi, I'm whatever," and then it has the portfolio, the work of that person. So it could be for a graphic designer, photographer, videographer, 3D designer, whatever. So you can find people like that and then offer them to actually create a customized portfolio website. And of course, guys, you can get it done for like 50 or $100 easily on Fiverr. You can charge these kinds of people 500, 600, 700, or even $1,000 to create a portfolio website. And of course, guys, you're gonna then resell it at a much higher profit margin and pocket some difference, guys. Now we're moving on to software development category. Okay, so we were in web design and e-commerce. Now, how is this different? So it's still software, right? Yeah, but in this case, we're talking about actually making custom software. Okay, so we hear web design and e-commerce management is more about working with local businesses and one-man bands and actually offering them to create a website, which is just a template from WordPress, Shopify, Wix, e-commerce, and similar kind of platforms. So we're not actually making any software from scratch. We're just integrating existing software and making some modification, adding their images, logos, working hours, phone numbers, and stuff like that. But here we're talking about actually making custom websites, apps, and stuff like this. Type this in or copy this in, and then actually go through the listings. Okay, so basically, we need to find a listing that is actually talking about completely custom websites. So as you can see, there's WordPress there, there's WooCommerce there. This doesn't cut it, guys. We're looking for somebody who's actually going to be able to create a completely custom website. Okay, let's look at this one. So for example, I'll design custom landing page. This kind of looks like what we need, but let's look at this one. I will design a custom website for you. Well, basically we're looking for coders. We're going to actually code a website completely from scratch, or by using some frameworks and APIs, but essentially they are not like using WordPress, they're not using Wix and similar kind of things. I will create a custom coded website. Exactly, this is kind of what we're talking about, guys. Okay, so 2 orders in the queue. We have 44 reviews there, and as you can see, he can upload the content. It can be 3 pages for this price, and he can actually make a completely custom website. And of course, guys, if you are using one of these people, you actually need to ask them, like, do you actually code it from scratch yourself by using some frameworks, right, and APIs and stuff like that, or is this like a template website where you just customize the template? Because if it's that, then that's not what we need. So this specific service is if we are actually going to be reselling completely custom software development to clients, and they will not want this to be a template website. They will want this to be actually a custom website, and it does kind of look like a custom solution. So basically, this guy can create a custom landing page, which is actually also really cool, and it kind of does look like it's custom. As you can see, there's not many templates like that, so it looks like this guy is also making actually custom landing pages. So guys, as you can see, so basically here it says no development, so he's gonna use WordPress or something similar. But if you go to the premium, this is of course more expensive, but here you can see he's gonna be using React.js and Next.js to actually build a completely custom website. Okay, so yeah, custom UI, UX, UI guidelines with style guide and stuff like that, guys. Okay, so this is actually exactly the niche that I'm talking about, guys. And this is of course more expensive, but if you find a client who's looking for a custom website, not WordPress, not Wix and similar kind of thing, these guys of course can spend a lot more money, and usually these are going to be startup clients. Okay, so people looking to actually set up a software business. So the next niche is app development, guys. And if you can see, I wrote two things, iOS and Android. Why did I do that? Well, here's the thing, guys. If you have ever tried creating your own app, and I've had a startup where we actually built apps. Here's the thing, guys. Most of the time, iOS being the Apple Store, it requires completely different skills and a different code base from the Android apps. And a good software engineer who is capable of creating good Apple iOS apps is not necessarily going to be a good Android app development, and vice versa. Okay, guys, so here's the thing. With that knowledge in mind, if you find a client who's looking to create an iOS app or an Android app, ideally you're finding a domain-specific, domain expertise engineer who actually is able to focus on, for example, iOS development, and then find another one who's able to focus on just Android and who actually has really, really good skills for that specific thing. As you can see, guys, app development is actually a very expensive service. As you can imagine, some of these prices are ridiculously low, but if you actually want to create a somewhat usable app that has a lot of features, you're looking at probably 5 to 10K for the most basic thing ever. Like, if you're looking to actually create something really decent that has world-class UI and it doesn't have any bugs, or at least it doesn't have a lot of bugs, because every app has some bugs, then you're going to be looking at, I don't know, $25,000 to $100,000 budget. Okay. And if you get a client, who's spending 100K, as we have very high margins in drop servicing, you're probably going to be making at least 20 to 50K for such a project, because you need to put your own margin at the top, guys. And here's the thing, guys, if you can see, there is a lot of these developers who are talking about both things. I will develop iOS and Android mobile apps. And here again, Android, iOS. So a lot of these people are actually writing both in their description, but this is not a good thing, guys. Ideally, we're looking at listings like that, and ideally we're finding developers. We're going to be focusing on just iOS, and then we're going to be finding another developer who's just really good and really proficient with Android. So as you can see, this guy is an iOS developer, iOS specific developer. So that would be a much better idea, guys. And as you can see, this guy as well, he's talking about iOS. He's not talking about Android, because a lot of these guys also talk about both things. Oh, I can do that, I can do that. But, for example, this one, Android, iOS, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be a good app if it's done by the same guy. Another thing, guys, a lot of these listings are actually agencies. So for example, it is very, very likely that if you buy from For example, this listing that shows Android and iOS, they actually are kind of drop servicing to other freelancers, or they have an agency where if they get an iOS app, maybe they do it in-house, and if they get an Android app order, they'll just get an Android developer from elsewhere that they know, and they'll just drop service to him, outsource to him. Or they have an agency where they have a few Android developers, a few iOS developers, and maybe some developers for hybrid apps, but we're going to talk about it later. Apps are actually quite a difficult niche to handle because there's a lot of moving parts. Even releasing an iOS Apple app into the App Store is actually quite difficult. The requirements are really high. The quality has to be good. They don't let just about anything to be uploaded. So really, guys, you have to make sure that the quality is going to be very high of this app if you find a client who is looking to create an app. Guys, the next thing is hybrid apps. Now, this sounds really exciting, right? Hybrid apps. What does this actually mean? Well, hybrid apps basically mean that the code base is actually the same or almost the same. Let's open a few examples of these listings. So basically, what hybrid apps are, again, hybrid apps basically mean that, you know, an iOS and an Android could actually run the same app. So the same code base, that you don't have to actually recreate the same app on iOS on completely different coding language. As you can see, this guy is a top-notch hybrid apps developer. And it is really, really good, guys, to create these kinds of apps. And, you know, I think the future is for hybrid apps, is not for creating two different code bases. I think this is really where the world is going to be moving eventually. But currently, again, a lot of the time, as I mentioned, you know, iOS and Android are completely separate and really, really native, really customized code bases. Guys, as you can see, this guy can create apps, and let's look at the prices. Okay, so these prices are really low. I don't think he can create like a really, really good app for just this budget because it sounds absolutely very low, guys. Let's look at this one. Again, so I will develop native and hybrid mobile apps, websites, and games. This is a very broad listing as well. So I believe you probably have to just contact this girl and just say what the requirements are and also look at the prices. I mean, these are really low prices. Let's look at this one. Again, quality hybrid native mobile app and website development. Again, guys, here's the thing. The good thing about hybrid apps, if you're targeting, for example, a small business like a small, I don't know, restaurant or I don't know, lawyer or something like that, who might benefit, or a sports gym, let's say, who might benefit from having their own app, is actually not a bad idea to create a hybrid app. Because here's the thing, guys, if you're creating something like, let's say, an Uber, Airbnb, and similar kind of like proper startup, you know, large scale tech solution, then of course you need to create native iOS code base and native Android code base. But if you're creating just a simple app for a local business, hybrid apps are actually a very, very good solution, guys. And they're also a lot cheaper because you just need to create one code base, and with minimal adjustments, you can launch both apps into the App Store. So guys, let's now talk about the next one, software user testing. So this niche is actually very, very cool because you can actually work in software development field, get clients for software development, but you don't actually have to create any websites, you don't actually have to create any apps, and you don't have to actually get your hands dirty, even if you're drop servicing, right, in anything to do with code. So here's the thing, guys, this niche is very, very interesting, and there can be kind of two branches of it. So the first branch is if you, let's say, find a software development house or something like this, and you can actually offer them to review their code. Okay, test the code, test and see if the code is good. You can actually find a similar kind of service on Fiverr. Just type in something like software code review, and it's kind of like another service. But what I'm specifically focusing on in this niche is more about software user testing. as you can see, this is super simple service. So what it entails, this person would actually go to someone's website, app, or software solution and really just click all the buttons and try all kinds of combinations to try and break their app or their website, to try and find some bugs. How is this used? Why is this used? And is it often used? Yes, guys, this is used very, very often, and people are paying money for it. Trust me. And here's the thing. Why is it used? Well, it is used when you're launching a new website, when you're launching a new custom app. It usually mostly applies to custom built software, because if you're launching your website on, let's say, Wix or Squarespace or WordPress, usually everything kind of works because it's super tested, existing software frameworks and apps that work for a large amount of people. But when you're creating your own custom app, your own custom website, you kind of really need to test everything. Because imagine, let's say you're a company creating apps. You create an app and let's say it has e-commerce functionality or something to do with payments. And imagine if your client cannot pay. So for example, they add everything to the checkout, they go to the very last page and they cannot pay because there is a bug. Let's say a button is not clickable or whatever, right? Or something is not visible, some important information is missing, whatever. So these kind of gigs are all about actually testing that. It is possible to actually run automated tests where bots will simulate usage and they will do something, but it is still very, very good to actually put a real human into the test who's actually gonna go out there and really click a lot of buttons and do a lot of things. And here's the thing, guys, a lot of these guys also have different kind of devices, so they can try it on an iOS device like an old iPhone, new iPhone, iPad, computer, Android phones, small screen, large screen, etc., guys. You can really find a lot of different variations of devices as well that these guys can test on. So this niche is actually very, very good as well. And guys, I'm telling you, a lot of companies actually need this service. Okay, let's now talk about the next niche. So guys, now moving on to the next category, and that is graphic design. So the first thing, guys, is we're gonna be talking about logo design, and I've actually serviced a lot of logo design in the last few years. So this is absolutely a very, very brilliant niche. The good thing about logo design is the fact that it is super simple. There's almost no moving parts. And if you get a client who is in the need of logo design, for example, a local business or a online store, an online shop, whatever, it is super simple to actually get a logo designed for them. So just type in logo design. As you can see, there's absolutely crazy amount of services available, but because there's a lot of services available, there's also a lot of demand in the marketplace outside of Fiverr. Well, who doesn't need a logo? Almost every single business in the world needs some kind of a logo, and sometimes a brand could have multiple different logos. A logo for a new product line, a logo for I don't know, for example, a different kind of version of the product and stuff like this, guys. With logos, I'm gonna tell you one thing, guys. The prices are really variant. For example, here, from $1,300. Look at this one, 45, 25, 25, 40, 80, 25, 95. Guys, I'm going to tell you one thing. If you're just creating a logo, and if you're drop servicing, so basically getting someone to create a logo on Fiverr or People Per Hour or Upwork or a similar website, really, you can find very, very low priced and very good designers. I'm telling you guys, because I've done this, and I'm telling you guys, for, I don't know, $10 to $50, you can easily find very, very, very good designers from countries like India, Africa, Indonesia, and similar kinds of markets. And then you can, of course, resell this logo design to people in United States, United Kingdom, Australia, and similar kind of countries where you can, of course, resell it at much higher prices. So for example, let's say you get a logo design for $30. The supplier is, let's say, from India. You can then resell this in the United States for at minimum 10 times higher, so $300. Like this would be like the minimum. It could go up to 400, 500, 600. It really does depend on the client, but I'm telling you guys, this niche, the logo design niche, is one of the best and it's one of the easiest for beginner drop servicers to get into, because there is almost no moving parts. So the client gives you the requirements, you then actually order it on here, you paste the requirements into Fiverr, and you know your supplier is actually going to do all the hard work. You don't need to know Photoshop, Illustrator, or any of these softwares. Your supplier is actually going to be doing that himself. Now guys, let's talk about the next one, business cards design. So basically, here's the thing guys, it is kind of relevant to the logo design, because in order to create a business card, usually there is a logo on there. So you might even find a client who is actually needing both. So they let's say just started a new business, or they're starting a new business, they're rebranding, whatever, right? And then they actually need to get their business cards designed, then printed out. But in order to do that, they actually need a logo, because look at this, most of these business cards actually have a logo. So you could actually offer a service where you create a logo, you create a business card, and you can create their company blanks, headed papers, and stuff like that. So a lot of different things that are requiring a logo, like business cards. And here's the thing guys, again, a lot of the variation in prices. Look, $15, $10, $100. So 10 times higher than this. And this is like, you know, this business card will be delivered in 6 hours for just $10, guys. And this is $100, so 10 times higher. Honestly, the price variations are absolutely wild. This is 145, so 14.5 times a higher price. Guys, you have to be really careful, and you have to really research all this Fiverr listings in order to make sure that you find a good deal. And I'm telling you guys, again, it is super simple to resell this business card design service to clients in the US, UK, Australia for at least 10 to 20 times higher cost. So now let's talk about the next niche, which is illustrations for web. And what do I mean by that? Well, if we type this in, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Illustrations that will be uploaded on someone's website. So as you can see, this is what I mean. So somebody is creating their own website, for example, for mobile or for, you know, PC version, whatever. But as you can see, these kinds of illustrations are really cool and very popular these days. And you cannot simply get them from a template. This kind of really needs to be a custom design. For example, look at this, 404 page not found. How cool is that, guys? Again, look at this, and you can really create very interesting designs. And for example, look at this one. I think it's Berlin. Look at this tower. So as you can see, guys, this can be a very good niche to resell. And of course, guys, you need to find a client. Look at this one as well, 404 page. So it basically means that page is broken, and is very cool design, guys. Okay. And this is usually done by illustrators. As you can see, there's 3 orders in the queue there. We have 3 orders in the queue there. And we have actually 8 orders in the queue there. This is actually very cool, guys. And as you can see, the prices are really not that high. You can resell this stuff for 10 times or more in the Western world, 100%, guys. And most of the time, these sellers are from, as I said, Indonesia, Pakistan, India, and similar kind of countries, guys. Okay, let's now talk about the next niche, guys. So book and ebook illustrations. Again, guys, this is a very useful and very popular niche. I now wrote this as book/ebook. So it basically, I'm just giving you 2 options, because, you know, ebook and book illustrations are a little bit different, because when we're talking about physical books that will actually be printed. This is really exciting, guys, because you can then actually work for a client whose book is actually going to be printed, which is really cool. So imagine you will actually contribute to a physical book that you can then see on a shelf. And you know, if you actually find a supplier who is actually going to do a very good job and, you know, create these designs, you would have contributed to this book that will then go into print. Guys, this is really amazing. And as you can see, some of these sellers are actually really good. Like, it looks super legit. Look at these illustrations. They do actually look very, very, very good. Okay, let's look at this one, for example. That's super cool. And here's the thing, guys. I wrote it as book/ebook because, you know, ebooks are now growing in popularity. And again, a lot of ebooks also do have a cover. Because here's the thing, guys, you know, for example, if you're promoting your ebook, let's say somewhere online, you know, you kind of need to have a cover as well. And a lot of, for example, children's ebooks as well need illustrations. So, you know, illustration for books is a very, very big and actually quite profitable niche because, you know, again, you don't need to know any of the illustration stuff. You know, you can fully outsource this completely from Fiverr. As you can see, you know, people can do stuff like this, and you have to actually be a professional illustrator in order to create custom graphics like that. But you don't need to know any of this stuff, guys. You can completely fully outsource this from Fiverr and then find a client who's going to be paying you, you know, around 10 to 20 times more. And then, guys, of course, you're going to pocket the difference. As you can see, there's 5 orders in the queue for this specific seller, and let's see where the seller is from. Sri Lanka. That's how we can actually get these people to do the work for much, much lower, because they living in countries where a few $100 are enough to actually survive. And, you know, a good illustrator, let's say working in LA, will charge, you know, $5,000 or more for an illustration like that, maybe even 10K. So guys, here's the thing. Again, this is how Fiverr is really good. Now, the next niche, guys, is flyer/brochure design. The usage of this one is actually absolutely huge, guys. Again, who is using flyers? Who is using brochures? A lot of businesses, guys. We're talking about nightclubs. We're talking about restaurants. We're talking about gyms. We're talking about local businesses, hairdressers. There is literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of businesses who actually use flyers and also sporting events, guys. Here's the thing. A lot of businesses actually do create and use flyers pretty much every single day. You know, there are businesses who are using flyers every weekend for night out to promote their nights. That's why the usage of this continues to be high even now in the digital world, because, you know, some people, when they walk on the street, if they get handed a flyer, like a physical, you know, flyer, a paper that they can look at, it is a very effective marketing. And also these kind of things are very often actually put into the mailboxes of people. So like a physical you know, flyer that they can look at, and it is really good for local businesses to promote, to spread the word about them. So as you can see, these kind of designs are super, super cheap. So they are single-sided for $15, double-sided for $25. As you can see, free orders in the queue. And again, guys, you can drop service this a couple of times or 3 times higher, at least to clients in the United States, United Kingdom, and Australia. So for example, guys, again, it kind of depends on your client, but usually, you know, if your client is actually ordering a flyer design without any printing, just the actual design, and they do the printing themselves, you're looking at least a couple of hundred, maybe $300 if we're talking about, you know, wealthy American cities. So guys, we can really charge at least 5 to 10 times more, for example, on this specific listing, because this is just $15. It's super, super cheap. You know, a good graphic designer in the New York area, Chicago area, is not going to do this for $15. Again, guys, this is possible courtesy of people being physically located in Bangladesh. This is how they can do it, guys. And again, as you can see, there's more examples. And you know, nightclubs are super big users of these flyers. They absolutely need a flyer for almost every night. So if they're running a party on Friday, Saturday, maybe as well Tuesday and Wednesday, so they might have actually a lot of different flyer requirements throughout the week, guys. So the next niche is catalog design. And what do I mean by catalog design? Catalogs of what? So guys, now I'm going to explain you everything. So here's the thing, guys. A lot of the time when we're talking about physical products and suppliers of fashion, suppliers of jewelry, suppliers of furniture, suppliers of all kinds of products that, a brand that has a lot of different products usually need a catalog. And also construction market is also very big user of catalogs. So for example, as you can see, there's some kind of specific parts, and you can create a catalog for these parts. It has all the kind of specifications and stuff like that, and all of this stuff actually needs to be designed, needs to actually be made into a PDF or a printable format. And as you can see, guys, this niche is actually not easy to make. So for example, let's just say I am a manufacturer of some products in the United States. How much graphic design do I actually need to do in order to produce a catalog like that? Guys, it takes a long time. Look, there could be multiple pages. Just for these 4 products, we're looking at pretty much 4 pages, right? And if you have 100 products, it could be a catalog of 100 pages, guys. So here's the thing. It is really a difficult service, and that's why there is demand. There's 11 orders in the queue for this catalog. This is a very good niche for drop servicing. I'm telling you, guys. You can contact manufacturers and brands who are using catalogs, and you can offer them to create a catalog for cheaper. And usually, again, these kind of sellers are from Bangladesh and similar kind of countries. That's why they can create this for a lot cheaper. Let's look at this one, guys. 1 order in a queue. Let's look at this one. There is no orders in the queue, but this guy, for example, is showing you watches, catalogs of watches, catalogs of, some industrial things, catalogs of food and stuff like that, guys. So there is a massive usage of this niche, guys. And of course, you can always, as I said, guys, because we're doing drop servicing, you have to charge, of course, a lot more, guys. And construction industry as well. Look at this one, furniture and similar kind of things, everything to do with interior design, everything to do with home decoration and stuff like that kind of needs a catalog so you can display the products of your clients. And you just need to get all the requirements, all the product photos and stuff like that, and your supplier can then put all of this stuff into a very nice PDF or a printable format using Illustrator or Photoshop, guys. Okay, let's now talk about the next niche, which is menu design. Menu design of restaurants is what I mean. Of course, if you now think about this niche, I'm sure you get a lot of ideas in your head, and you're now thinking, oh, right, so there's thousands and thousands and thousands of restaurants in almost every single country in the world. How many clients there are that you could contact? Even in your local market, in your local country, you could potentially make money from this. You don't even have to go after restaurants in the United States, in the United Kingdom, in Australia, and other English-speaking countries. You can even find somebody in your country, wherever you live. And here's the thing, guys. Every single restaurant needs a menu, and they usually need to update this menu from time to time because, stuff changes, prices change, and, they introduce new food items and stuff like this, guys. And a lot of these Fiverr sellers are actually brilliant. And let's have a look at some of these menus. For example, this one, it looks actually really cool, very minimalistic, and it's kind of very trendy as well. Look at this one as well. This is actually really cool. Well, this is kind of simple, and as you can see, for example, this person is charging just $30 for a one-page A3 restaurant menu. So you can, of course, guys, charge again 10 to 20 times more to restaurants in the Western countries like United States, United Kingdom, and similar. Let's look at this one, guys. So again, $30 for a simple menu. This is just absolutely ridiculously cheap. No one is gonna deliver a actually create a design of a menu in the United States, in the wealthy areas like, let's say California, Florida, and whatever, for $30, no one's going to deliver you a menu design. It's just not going to happen. Let's look at this one, $80. Okay, this is a bit more, but again, look at the design. The quality is absolutely very, very good. You really need to look into the orders in the queue and the feedbacks. For this kind of stuff, menu is a very sensitive thing. We don't want any typos. We don't want any errors and stuff like that. So do look at the feedbacks, guys, and they have to be good. So you can scroll down and you can really find a lot of the feedbacks here. So as you can see, most of the people are from the United States and they have a restaurant. Probably they are the owner of a restaurant, and they're leaving feedbacks that everything is really good and smooth, guys. So this niche is absolutely very, very good. And the amount of restaurants globally, we're talking about millions and millions of restaurants globally, probably tens of millions. So this niche is actually super broad. Okay, now let's talk about the next one. So YouTube thumbnails and covers. Guys, here's the thing. How many YouTubers are out there? Over 30 million channels on YouTube. And here's the thing, every single channel needs this thing. This is, of course, YouTube thumbnails. And again, I think you can actually have a YouTube channel without a YouTube cover, but you cannot create a decent YouTube video without a good thumbnail. It's just how it works, guys. Look, have a look at some of these examples. Again, why would a YouTuber actually need a thumbnail like this? Well, of course, because most YouTubers are not professional graphic designers. Even I could not make most of these thumbnails because they just look crazy, crazy, crazy good. Look at some of these ones. They require some really advanced Photoshop skills to be able to make them. They are really, really absolutely cool. And here's the thing, guys. For example, this is charging $20 for one thumbnail. So here is what I'm going to tell you, guys. Even though there's 17 orders in the queue, but I've actually drop serviced this many times, this service. And what I'm going to tell you guys, that you don't want to pay more than $5 on Fiverr for a very, very good thumbnail. So what you need to do, guys, again, 19,000 services available. So just scroll down, go to like page 10 or something, and find a very good supplier who is actually going to be delivering you something for $5, and it's going to be a very good thumbnail. Let's look at this one, for example, $10, and this person is going to make you a very, very similar thumbnail to the previous one. These look very good, and it's twice as cheap, guys. Here's the thing, and he has 7 orders in the queue. But as I said, guys, in my experience, for $5, if you go through 50 or so pages, you're gonna find very, very, very good thumbnail designer. And then if you actually reach out to YouTube channels, you can offer it at $15. So you spend $5, you offer it at $15. You're gonna make $10 for just one thumbnail. Make 100 thumbnails in a month, and you make $1,000 in clear profit. And a lot of these channels actually do need multiple of these thumbnails, so you only need a few channels to make 100 thumbnails in a month. Okay, now guys, let's talk about the next one, website graphic design. What do I mean by that? Well, website graphic design. Well, what I basically mean by that is that, a lot of, e-commerce brands and all kinds of web-related businesses actually need a graphic designer to create designs here and there. So, for example, let's just say, somebody has a website like this and they want to have some specific graphic design. It's not like an illustration kind of a thing, because there is no like custom made graphics, but it's more like just a graphic arrangement of someone's website. So let's look at this one. So for example, maybe someone needs to create this page and add all these things according to their colors and stuff like that. Maybe they want to have some really nice image of a flower that they don't take from stock images, but they want it made from scratch and stuff like this, guys. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Or they want to have this shape and this font or something like that. So a a good graphic designer could easily do that. But again, guys, this is not simple. Or look at this one. So somebody's logo is there, and somebody has put in a logo on there. Again, guys, these kinds of things are made by a designer. As you can see, 2 orders in the queue there. We have no orders in the queue there, and we have 12 orders in the queue there. And again, here's the thing, guys. Most of this stuff, we're talking about custom websites. Okay, so it's not going to be like a WordPress website. It's not going to be a Shopify website. It's not going to be Squarespace website. It's more about custom websites, and slightly bigger companies who really care about the brand, who really care about the visual appeal of their website. Now, let's talk about the next one. So web banner design. Okay, so if we actually go on Fiverr and type in web banners design, we're going to find absolutely huge amount of suppliers who are offering this service as well. Now, this is slightly different than the previous niche. So here I'm talking specifically about banners. So, how are banners used? Well, usually they are like an advertisement. So imagine sometimes you go to a website, right? And then you see a banner pop up, or you see a banner integrated into their website as an advertisement. So it's usually like an advert. So as you can see, you could imagine this being an advert on someone's website. And, a lot of websites actually sell the space to either Google systems to actually display banners or other kinds of advertising networks. And then you need to have a banner. But also these banners could be used in emails. These banners could be used on social media and other kinds of things. And again, guys, some of these banners are being designed for absolutely pennies. So for example, $5 there, and you could easily charge a client in the Western countries $20, $25, even $30. So, 6 times higher than here, guys. So this niche is actually very good. Now, let's talk about the next niche, which is presentation design. Guys, this is absolutely very profitable niche. I'm telling you guys, because presentations usually mean you're going to be dealing with businesses, guys. Okay, look at the prices. As you can see, they're already much higher than the previous couple of niches. So, some people are charging $380, $600, $500, $440. As you can see, it's around $500 that a lot of these people are actually charging for just 10 slides, so this is absolutely really good. And what are these presentations for, and how are they used? Well, usually it's used in the business context to actually present something to, investors, present something to an academic community, present something to, I don't know, some organization, or in politics or whatever, guys. There is a lot of ways how these kinds of presentations could be used. Also could be used for products and stuff like that, guys. But again, this is a very good niche, because have a look at the orders. 9 orders in the queue there, 6 orders in the queue there, and we have no orders in the queue there. I don't know why, because this also is looking quite good to me. But again, this guy has over 2,257 reviews. So absolutely very high number of reviews, guys, and the prices are very low, guys. Again, in order to make profit with this niche, guys, you need to find a lower price. So for example, you don't want to get somebody on Fiverr to make this for you for $600, and probably this seller is not going to be in Asia. As you can see, the seller is in Poland, so that's why the prices are higher. Let's look at this one, for example, much lower price, Pakistan. Again, guys, sellers from Asia make this a lot cheaper, and then you can actually pocket some arbitrage by reselling it in the Western world. Let's talk about the next niche, which is email design. And now you might be thinking, wait, email design? Who is actually designing emails? Look. So when you actually create an email campaign, quite often you need to actually create a design for your email. And let's look at some of these examples, guys. So for example, let's look at this one. This seller is, of course, talking about these email designs. So when you get a, like a promo email, so it's not really just an email, it's almost like a shop within the email. Have you seen any of those? Of course, you probably have seen them. So the goal of this is usually, sometimes they even have like a menu kind of thing where you can click on something and it goes to their website, or there's shop now buttons and stuff like that. So a lot of these and look at this one, schedule a booking. So quite a lot of these emails are actually full blown, almost like small websites. So yeah, view this email in your browser, guys. As you can see, this is absolutely crazy email, a massive amount of tags. They have blog pages, they have, all kinds of things on there. So this is not just a simple email with the text. This is, feature rich, HTML, CSS enabled email with all kinds of things, social media links, photos and cover images and stuff like that. And of course, somebody needs to design this stuff. Like, this doesn't happen by itself. And a lot of the time, people are going to be using email marketing softwares with this. So for example, this guy is mentioning MailChimp, so he can actually design and code a MailChimp email template. And, there's a lot of different email marketing softwares, guys. But the point is, somebody needs to actually design these emails. They don't just happen automatically, by just clicking a button and suddenly you have the perfect email template. It just doesn't happen, guys. And of course, now, again, guys, you need to find a supplier who is charging not very much and who is from Asian countries, and where you can actually find the arbitrage and find a client in the Western world to then actually resell this service at a much, much higher cost. Again, book covers design. Guys, now let's go back to Fiverr and look at this niche. This niche is actually very, very interesting. It's very exciting as well, guys. Let's have a look at some of these examples. We kind of spoke about books already, but I wanna show you this niche as a separate thing, because this is specifically talking about book covers. So just covers, and it's another niche, guys. Look, 4 orders in the queue there. We have 12 orders in the queue there, massive amount. And we have 12 orders in the queue there. This is absolutely amazing, guys. And if somebody is launching, let's say, how to launch a successful business, and have a look at this cover. This looks absolutely very, very cool. If this is this guy, wow, that's amazing. I actually really like this cover. So it has the idea of pencil going up, and that's really cool. The colors look really nice, and begin, success, launch business, research, successful business. This is amazing, guys. I really love this stuff. And as you can see, for $40, he's also going to give you the source file and 3D mockups and unlimited revisions. For $60, he has also the print cover version, the paperback. So for just $60, this guy is going to deliver you a ebook and book design for the, for the cover. So it's very, very cheap, and you can definitely find clients in the United States who actually need this stuff. Okay. And of course, you can make a huge margin in the process, guys. Now let's talk about the next niche, and this niche is actually super, super useful. I've actually spoken about this on my channel in the past, and I had people who told me that they actually made money with this niche after seeing a video on my channel. So what I'm talking about here specifically, guys, I'm not talking about resume writing. I'm talking about actually designing a resume, because here's the thing: writing a resume is just part of the story, but what about the actual design? And as you can see, some of these resumes are actually super creative. Look at this one. So it has like pie charts and all kinds of things. And a lot of the people might look at this and just be like, wait, but like, surely this is not gonna be very useful, because if you upload this to some online directories, it's not gonna pull up the text, and also how can you read that? But guys, these kind of CV and resume designs are actually very, very useful for applying to small businesses where the CVs are not going to be screened. So there is definitely demand for people to actually make CVs like that. And how can you find people who are in the need of such CV and resume designs? You can find a lot of people on LinkedIn, and I've actually showed on my channel how to find these people. So as you can see, this listing has 3 orders in the queue, and there is definitely demand. And again, guys, how much can you charge? In the most cases, you can charge probably between $100 to $300 for a CV design. So you would be making 5 to 15 times higher than what you're paying here for the supplier. So this niche is also, guys, super profitable. And how many people actually need this kind of stuff globally? Well, almost everybody is looking for a job at some point in their lifetime. So guys, there's absolutely tens of millions hundreds of millions of people who need this stuff every single day. Just need to find people who are looking for a job, and we need actually help with the layout, with the design of their resume. So guys, now moving on, now let's talk about the video editing category. This is absolutely very amazing because I'm of course guys really big into video editing. A lot of you guys know me from the video editing videos on my channel. So guys, let's now type in YouTube video editing. I've made thousands of dollars with this niche, guys. So of course, I'm very qualified to talk about it. But here's, guys, basically what we're talking about. So we're talking about this niche, which is super, super liquid. So a lot of demand, guys. As you can see, 15 orders in the queue there. We have 2 orders in the queue there, and we have 12 orders in the queue there. Absolutely huge demand. And who doesn't need a good YouTube video editor? Well, kind of everybody needs a good YouTube video editor these days. And good video editors don't come by very easily, but there's a lot of supply. Have a look at this, guys. 91,000 video editors here on Fiverr alone. Then if you go to Upwork and people per hour, you can probably get a couple of 100,000, if not 300,000 people globally working on this all the time, guys. Here's the thing. So again, in order to make money with this niche, guys, you don't have to just go up here and look at the first 10 or so results. You can really just go to page 20, 30, 40, 50, and then guys, you can easily find a good video editor. And in my experience on Fiverr, because there is so much supply, you can easily find a good video editor at around $20 to $30 for most videos that are 10 to 12 minutes. So around $30, you can easily find a good video editor within Fiverr if you just scroll down and go to the next page and really research the first 50 or so pages. You're going to be able to find a good video editor at much lower cost. You don't have to go for these people at the very top because again, you're going to be paying a lot. And then guys, if you find a good video editor at $30, you can then resell his service at $70, $80, $90, similar kind of prices. Guys, this is absolutely very good niche because it's super liquid. There's absolutely tons of demand for that. Now let's look at this one. Intro and outro video editing. Again, intro and outro of what? Well guys, here's the thing. There could be an intro of for example YouTube video. There could be an intro or like a promo video of some product. There could be an intro of some website, etc, guys. So it's a very broad and niche, specifically talking about something being introduced for, I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds. The point is, guys, that it's an intro, so it's like an opening statement of something. And most of the time as well, guys, a lot of YouTubers actually have these intros. And let's look at some examples. So this guy, for example, is showing the capabilities that he can do, but this isn't actually a very interesting intro, but as you can see, it's just showing the, capabilities. Let's look at this one. So it's basically like a logo intro only. So there's no like moving parts. Let's look at this one. And again, guys, YouTubers are actually big users of this specific niche. Most of the YouTubers kind of need some kind of an intro or some kind of an outro. And I've actually spoken about this specific niche few videos ago, and actually some of you guys already made money by marketing this to YouTubers, and of course then guys ordering from Fiverr and making a huge margin. Now guys, let's talk about this one. So here we're talking about short form video editing and video editing about Instagram and for TikTok and stuff like that. So let's look at some of these examples. Of course, guys, again, this service is absolutely very popular. Let's look at these examples.
One of the easiest ways that I increase the productivity of a sales team is when
Again, let's look at this example. Yeah. This is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. And if you think about getting into this, guys, this is called short form content and short form video editing. And guys, the demand for this right now is absolutely mind blowing because, guys, you know, who doesn't need a good short form video editor right now? There is absolutely millions of content creators who are creating long form videos, so you can repurpose their long form videos into these shorts, but also a lot of creators who just creating these short videos on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, and other kinds of platforms, guys, and all of them need video editors to actually add this text, add some images, add some sound effects, music, and stuff like that, transitions, guys. So, you know, most of these content creators are not actually very good video editors, so that's why they need these editors, guys. And here's the thing, again, you need to be very careful with prices, guys. Don't just go for the highest you know, listed sellers, because most of the times, for example, this one is $5, so that's really good. And you know, shorts usually are 30 to 60 seconds in most cases. Okay, so for $5 you should be able to fulfill this. You don't want to be paying $20, guys. Or look at this one, for example, $30. You know, this is absolutely crazy. You know, if you go and do enough research, guys, you can easily find a very, very good you know, short form content editor for $5 on Fiverr.com. Okay, guys, let's now talk about the next niche. And this is actually UGC videos, guys. What are UGC videos? I've actually spoken about this niche on my channel a few videos back as well. So UGC videos is basically where people are talking about something and they're making like a product review or you know, just some kind of a review or some kind of feedback about some specific product or service, and that you need to pay them in order to do it. Let's look at this example.
Do you want a video that one, can get your audience to stop scrolling, and two, skyrocket your sales?
This is exactly what UGC videos is. And this girl, for example, is showing an example here. Let's look.
I just got this new body dryer by Vovo and I'm obsessed.
As soon as I get out of the shower, I just step on the dryer and it dries me.
So basically, here's the thing, guys. As you can see, there's 5 orders in the queue there, and for 15-second video, she's asking for $90. So, guys, as you see, there's even more orders here, and let's look at this example.
Did someone say content? Hi there, my name is Rachel, and I am a user-generated content creator.
This is really cool, guys. So basically, for 15 seconds, she's asking for $80. That's actually a very lucrative side hustle to even do, which is actually really cool, guys. So yeah, consider this. But here's the thing, guys. How can we make money with this? We can, of course, find these UGC content creators on Fiverr, again, that are not at the top, you know, 5 or 10 listings. Just scroll down, go to page 10, go to page 20, and find a good UGC content creator who is going to be charging you, I don't know, 10, 20, $30 for these kind of videos, and then you can resell it at, you know, $90, $100, $150, you know, 3 to 5 times higher, guys. And if you do that, of course, you're gonna make a profit, guys. And where you can offer this, you can offer this to e-commerce brands, jewelry brands, fashion brands, and similar kind of brands. And how would it work, guys? Well, here's the thing. You would get a client, then you get the payment for the client, then you get you find a supplier on here, one of these guys, then you would actually pay them, and you tell the e-commerce brand or the brand that was your client to ship the product that these guys will review, ship it to their house. So you need to ask for their address, and then they'll make the review. They'll send the video to you, and you send the video to your client. And you know, without your client really knowing what's happening behind the scenes, you would have delivered a video like that. But guys, if you're actually using this strategy when you're marketing this, if you get on a call, or if you're marketing by emails and you chat on WhatsApp, wherever, you kind of have to let your clients know that you're basically a UGC a content agency. So because, you know, of course, if you start giving them all kinds of different people in these videos, they'll be like, wait, you know, are you making these videos, or is someone else making these videos? So before you start marketing this, you have to really position yourself as a UGC content agency or like an agent or something like that. That way, there's not going to be any confusion with your clients, because you're going to be getting videos of people who are not looking like yourself. And actually, this is a very, very popular niche, and a lot of brands are in the need for this, because they need somebody to actually, user test their products, make reviews, and use this for their ads. Okay, guys, so let's now talk about the next niche, which is music videos. Okay, so music video editing specifically. Sometimes, music video production companies actually, they create a music video, but they actually need to then, somebody to make the edit for their video. So let's look at this example. So as you can see, someone actually shot a video, but there needs to be some editing done in order to make that video look good. Let's look at, maybe this guy has more examples. Okay, let's look at some other ones. Let's look at this one, for example. So as you can see, things like that, most of these music production people, filmmakers and stuff, they cannot do these edits. They can just film this, but they cannot do this because this requires some advanced video editing. So yeah, 5 orders in the queue there. We have 4 orders in the queue there. So as you can see, this niche is also very, very, very profitable potentially, because look, for example, this guy, for $75, you can actually make a 1-minute edit, which is quite cheap actually, considering how much editing there is. This is really cool, guys. And here's the thing, guys, again, how can you make money here? You need to actually find cheap but pretty good quality video editor who is actually able to use visual effects, and usually they use Adobe After Effects and similar kind of software to actually then create these videos or edit videos that are filmed by someone else and create a really cool music video out of this, guys. For example, this one, it doesn't show the time. Oh, here, up to 4 minutes running time. So, most songs are around 3 to 4 minutes, right? Or sometimes just under 3 minutes. So at $350, he can do the edit. And, if you're then charging your client, you could be looking at, $600, $800, $900, or even more, depending on where your client is from and, the complexity of the video. So again, you can make a few $100 from just one client in this niche, guys. Now let's talk about the next one, article to video. Now you might be thinking like, wait, article to video, what on earth is that? I've never heard about it. Well, by watching my videos, guys, you will know about every single side hustle and niche in the world. Basically, article to video is essentially where you're converting some article, some blog or whatever into a video. And let's see how this looks.
If you want to convert your article, blog post, or text into an engaging video like this, and want to get more traffic from social video platforms?
So basically,
I have
these sellers can actually convert a blog post, a website post, into a very kind of generic but video, which is really cool, that can be used on the client's website, social media, YouTube, and similar kind of places, guys. And why is this important? Like, who actually needs this? Who needs converting, articles into videos? Well, most of the time, if you actually have, for example, like a sales page where your client would have to read the entire thing in order to really understand some kind of specific information, let's look at this, for example.
Articles is dead. Videos have killed it. Tracks already have it. Someone else steals.
Exactly. So this guy has a good point. Articles are dead. Video is now the undisputed king. Exactly, guys. Here's the point. Here is exactly my point. And currently, it's very easy to do that with the use of AI. So this guy is even saying female AI voiceover. Okay. So basically, what is going to happen is this guy actually is going to use AI voiceover to actually read that text, and that's how he's going to convert it. And usually the actual article is also going to be converted into video with the use of AI. So this niche is actually very, very new as well. Not many people even know that this kind of thing even exists. So, you know, it could be a good niche for you to resell. So guys, let's now talk about the next niche. This niche is actually very good when it comes to video editing. I've actually made money personally myself targeting real estate agents and then actually editing their home tours. Let's look at some of these examples.
Your listings don't stand out. You need better results to get more buyer leads. Our secret is the premium editing.
It's kind of self-explanatory, guys. So basically, if you find a real estate agent in the US, in the UK, in Australia, wherever, you know, most of these actually film their home tours with their phone or camera or whatever, or maybe they get a filmmaker who's actually going to film it, but then they get all this raw footage and how to make it really exciting and engaging to be promoted on different listing websites, their social media, Facebooks, Instagrams, YouTubes, and stuff like that. They need a video editor most of the time. So for example, let's look at this one. So you can display the price, you can display the number. It adds a lot of legitimacy to these real estate agents who are actually using these kinds of videos. As you can see, there's one order in a queue and 3 minutes, just 25 bucks. Real estate agents, especially in wealthy US states, let's say, California, Florida, and similar kind of states, they are actually quite wealthy, so they could easily spend $250, for example, 10 times more for this kind of video, guys. And, they don't need these videos made every single day. So they're at some specific point, they might be selling, I don't know, 5 houses at the same time, maybe 10 houses at the same time. So that's why they don't actually hesitate spending a little bit more money. And also in commission, they sometimes make 20,000, 50,000, or even more from just one sale of a luxury house. So, can they spend $250 to then make 30,000, 50,000 and stuff like that? Of course, guys, they're looking to invest. And I even know some real estate agents in San Francisco area who actually create their own website every single time, like a landing page when they're listing a new house. So not just that they make the video, they also make a new website every single time when they're trying to sell a new house. So this niche is absolutely super, super profitable, guys. Now, let's talk about this next niche called corporate videos. Again, guys, this is kind of related to real estate, but now we're talking more about specific companies. And, a lot of the time, these corporate videos are actually made by a company that actually films the video. So films, for example, some interviews, films some shoots of their office, and then makes the corporate video and does the editing in the same package. Okay, so so there is no requirement of actually having an external video editor, but some of the companies cannot afford that, and they just want somebody who's actually going to make them a corporate video out of some photos or maybe some amateur footage that they filmed themselves, and then they need a video editor who's actually going to stitch all of this together into one video. So let's look at some of these examples.
Do you need a video like the following to promote your business?
Make more sales.
Our data security that works. You can protect this box.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. I mean, this looks kind of generic, but I'm telling you, this is actually very, very much used. Let's look at some other examples.
Wouldn't it be awesome to find a team of creative scriptwriters?
Look at this one. This one looks much better, guys. Look, 3 orders in the queue. Again, guys, in order to make money with this niche, you don't have to look at the first few results. Go and really dive into this niche if you like this niche, and find somebody who can make this kind of videos for you, 2-3 minutes long for $100, $150 to then resell it at $300, $400, $500 or more, depending on the client that you find, guys. But again, I'm just showing you just another niche where you can definitely make money by reselling this. Now let's talk about online course creation, guys. This niche is very, very, very very good. So essentially, when you're creating an online course, you really need a lot of things, not just the actual, writing, but also the design, the video editing. There's a lot that goes into creating a course. So some of these guys actually write the text and they can really do the research. But what I'm specifically was talking about, I was talking about video editing for courses, guys. Let's look at this example, for example. So somebody basically...
Hi, I'm Leah. If you're looking for an instructor for your online course,
so basically someone actually creates a course like this, right? Writes the outline, and then you can actually hire somebody on Fiverr who is actually going to present the course information. Or maybe you have a client who actually filmed a course himself and needs a video editor who will then stitch everything into one coherent video, adds images, adds descriptions like that, titles and stuff like this. Or as you can see here, you can actually hire a professional presenter as well.
pitch decks, or to create an awesome
This is really cool, guys. And again, as you can see, this, for example, if we're talking about actually somebody talking and actually narrating a video, of course, this is very, very expensive. But if your client actually, filmed himself or the screen, so it's not that difficult and then it's not that expensive, then we just need to actually find a video editor who can really stitch it into one video. So, guys, now let's talk about the next category. And now, moving on to animation, guys. So the first niche in here is explainer videos, guys. Okay, let's look at what I mean by explainer videos. So explainer videos are basically these kind of drawing board style videos, and these videos are looking like this.
Hello, thank you for visiting our gig. So you're excited to tell your audience about your product?
Guys, I really love this niche. This niche is one of the most profitable niches out there because almost nobody knows how to make this stuff. Honestly, almost nobody. I have no idea how to make this stuff. I don't think it's made with AI. I don't know. I honestly don't know how this is made. Maybe there are some special tools that can create simple videos like that, but sometimes they look really detailed, and I don't think that they're made with some AI. I think it's actually made by a real person. So 6 orders in the queue there. We have 11 orders in the queue there. And let's look at this example.
Hey there, my name's Joel, and if you're looking for the best value in white or other sellers...
This is like a whiteboard video as well, guys. So here's the thing, guys. So these kind of videos are super popular because quite a lot of time e-commerce brands and, companies will need something that is going to be explained on the internet. For example, coaches, consultants, and similar kind of things. Somebody who actually needs to explain something, their service or product or whatever, that is kind of complicated. And instead of actually creating like a PDF or a Word file, they actually want to create a video that in 2 or 3 minutes actually explains everything about their product or service. And in order to actually make money with this, guys, again, you need to find cheaper sellers who are really good. As you can see, this is actually not bad. $75 for 20 seconds video. There's, of course, a cap of max 50 words. But here's the thing, guys. With this niche, drop servicers are making a lot of money. And this niche is actually very, very profitable because, as I said, not many companies know how to make this stuff. It requires some specialized knowledge. That's why, guys, this is a very, very good niche for drop servicing. And I've actually spoken about this niche a couple of times on my channel already. Okay, so now, guys, let's talk about the next niche. So, and that is anime videos. What do I mean by anime videos? So let's look at some of these examples, okay? Let's look at this one. There's a lot of people will like this kind of stuff. Watching anime and things like that. Let's look at this one. I mean, this doesn't look like anime. It's more like cartoon design. But again, let's look at this one. You know, this is a classic anime. So here's the thing, guys. 2 orders in the queue there with just a couple of feedbacks, guys. And we have no orders in the queue there. But as you can see, you can actually provide a lot of Japanese style and even cartoons, like traditional cartoon designs easily, guys. Let's look at how many providers are there. 1,699 providers. So quite a few providers actually, but this niche is super, super good. And you know, a lot of people don't know how to actually create this stuff, including myself. I have no idea how to create these kinds of videos. You probably need to actually be an anime professional designer in order to be able to make these. And then guys, we can resell this stuff if we're using Fiverr. Put our markup on top, and then, you know, once we get a client, of course, charge more here, pay less here, charge more to your client, and pocket the difference. Now let's talk about this thing, guys, and this is game design. So talking about game designers, and if you're looking to find a client who needs a game design, and a lot of people are actually interested in making games for mobile phones or even PC, but usually for mobile phones because it's a lot easier and it requires a lot less in resources. You can easily find a game designer on Fiverr. For example, let's look at this guy, 5 orders in the queue, and as you can see, he actually has a lot of different examples, and he shows what kind of games he can actually make. Actually, it is pretty crazy. So some people just want to create a game just for themselves, just for fun, or some project, some university project, whatever, and other people actually want to make money with this. So they're looking to create a game, usually on an iOS or an Android phone, to then upload it onto the App Store and to actually make money. That's why they're interested in making these games. So let's look at some of these examples. Okay, so as you can see, this guy, for example, can create your own game. And for example, let's see how like a full on game MVP design and development actually costs. So as you can see, we're looking at $5K USD, which is actually not that expensive, because if you have ever really dealt with app development, app design and stuff like this, you know that this is super expensive, guys, and it is absolutely not unusual to be spending a few $100,000 on making a really decent mobile game. So $5,000 is a drop in an ocean. And you know, if you find a client who's looking to actually create a game design, you can ask for a deposit of $5K, and then you can charge them, let's say, I don't know, $12K or $15K or something like that, to then actually use this supplier and of course pocket a huge profit. And again, guys, you know, if you're going to be helping somebody to actually create a game, this niche is actually advanced. So it's not for beginners, first of all, because much bigger money is involved, and secondly, because there's a lot more moving parts. You're likely going to be communicating a lot in this project, communicating with the client and communicating with the supplier, because there's going to be a lot of you know, feedback going both sides, guys. So this niche is really advanced, but it can be very lucrative, guys. Okay, now let's talk about the next niche, which is the final niche in the animation category. And this niche is also, guys, very useful for a lot of different businesses. So, and we're talking about logo animation. Let's look at a few examples. So yeah, guys, a lot of people are actually in the need for this service. So let's see how many people we have 20 orders in the queue. This is absolutely huge. Let's look at this one. 11 orders in the queue. Let's look at this one. 1 order in the queue. So guys, as you can see, this niche actually has a lot of demand. Let's look at this example.
Hey Fivers, welcome to my gig. Are you looking carefully for effects? Loop anime, and I'll be more than happy to reply to your questions.
This is really cool. So guys, here's the thing. In order to make money with this, we need to find a business who is looking to actually animate their logo. So they have a logo, likely, right? They need to send you a vector file of that logo, and we can then, of course, give it to this supplier, and for around $40, in 1080p plus music. He can actually make an animated video, guys, which is super cool with unlimited revision. Actually, very good price for some of these top listings, only $40. You could easily charge 250, 300, 350, or even up to $400 for something like this in the United States, Australia, and similar kind of countries, guys. So you can make huge amounts of money with just one client, guys. Now, guys, let's moving on to the next one. Let's talk about this, which is 3D design category. And first of all, we're going to be talking, of course, about product design. Of course, 3D design goes hand in hand with product design, because product design is, of course, about making physical products, and these needs to be designed with specialized softwares like SolidWorks, like AutoCAD, and similar kinds of things. Have a look at some of these examples. So essentially, what this guy can do is he can create a product and then create the drawings for that product to make it ready for manufacturing. As you can see, a lot of these products actually have full-on technical specifications, and they're almost ready to go into production, and you need to then send these files to a manufacturer. So as you can see, some of these guys can actually create some pretty complicated stuff. And once you have all these drawing and 3D renderings, you can then of course contract a supplier in China, India, or any other country where you find a manufacturer, and you could actually find a client who's looking to create a product design and who needs technical drawings that will then be used to actually sent to a supplier. So this guy can also do that. As you can see, he can create these technical drawings and also patent drawings and stuff like this that your clients, your potential clients, will then use to actually make these products. Let's look at a few more examples. Let's look at this one, for example. As you can see, this guy can also create the drawings and everything like that, guys. And this is the files that are always required in order to manufacture products. Okay, and these guys, for example, can also do like some sketches as well, which is also pretty cool, but it's not that useful. You can actually make a product, manufacture it from these sketches, guys. You actually need to have the technical drawings, as I showed you guys just a couple of seconds ago on here. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. In this niche, again, this niche is also quite a bit more advanced than let's say video editing or SFC editing, short form content editing, or YouTube intros, logo design, stuff like that. This is a lot more complicated, of course, because there's more moving parts. It's it's dealing with product, like a real 3D product that will be manufactured in the real world. That's why, guys, you need to be really careful with this. But here you can make a lot of money, because some people are spending tens of thousands of dollars to actually develop a physical product into something that they will manufacture and then start mass production. So they're looking to invest money. And as you can see, those 12 people in the queue right now was ordered from this guy. So as you can see, this niche definitely has demand. So honestly, if you want to make money with this, again, you need to really look into the feedbacks, because this is much more advanced. So you need to find really a professional who knows exactly how to do this stuff. Ideally, also a 3D designer that you contract from here actually has experience of working not just with like actual drawings and renderings, but actually with physical products that were manufactured. That way you will know that this person is actually very experienced and is able to bring the standard of engineering to a degree where it can be sent to a factory for manufacturing, guys. Okay, now let's talk about the next niche, which is fashion design. Well, it's plain and simple. It's the drawings, right? That, for example, you want to launch a product line. How easy is that if you have never actually worked in fashion design? It is actually not that simple. It's not as simple as you think. I'm not talking about t-shirts and stuff. I'm talking about things like that, like, for example, hoodies and all kinds of things. As you can see, jackets, and it really requires like technical drawings. For example, where the logo is going to be placed, what are the sizes, what are the what are the fabrics, and all kinds of things. Guys, there's a lot that goes into this stuff. Most people don't even realize how this is actually quite complicated. Well, of course, depending on the item, but if you're looking at this kind of stuff, guys, this is not that simple. So, and here's the thing, who would be a user of this? Like, where could you resell this? So a lot of people, of course, are actually launching their own fashion labels. And then, you know, if they absolutely have no experience, they need to find somebody who's actually going to be able to then draw all this stuff and actually make the technical drawings for manufacturing with all the specifications, you know, stuff like this. You know, an average amateur, you know, illustrator would not be able to do this. This requires some specialized knowledge, you know, to bring it to a standard that a factory could open these drawings and then actually manufacture something based on them. And you know, that's why you need to find somebody like this guy, you know, who's able to then actually, you know, create these drawings and describe everything. And usually your client will actually give you all of the requirements. So they'll tell, you know, the colors, they'll say the sizes, they'll say, you know, all kinds of information that you will then, of course, pass it on to this supplier, who will then create all these drawings and everything, and then, you know, send it back to you, and then you'll send it to your client. And again, guys, we're looking at 5 to 10 times minimum higher price than what we're paying on Fiverr. In this case, probably 10 times or more, because, you know, for example, let's look at this one. Basic design, one item of technical sketch, front and back view, tech pack not included, but $30. We would be looking at minimum $300. So I'm talking about 10 times if we're talking about $300. Again, guys, as you can see, also when it comes to this, it's a bit more advanced. So you need to really read the feedbacks, and you need to see what people are saying. And, you know, as you can see, most of the feedbacks are actually quite good. A lot of people are from the United States, and, you know, everybody is saying that this guy is actually very good at what he does. Okay, guys, so now let's talk about the next niche, and the next niche is jewelry design. Again, this may sound simple, but I'm telling you, there is a lot that goes into it. And, you know, creating a jewelry design, again, most of the time you actually need technical specifications, you need drawings and stuff like this, guys. So let's look at some of these examples. And if you want to launch your own jewelry brand or watch brand or something like that, you actually need somebody who's actually going to make these kinds of drawings for you as well. As you can see, for example, this one is computer aided design, CAD. It's not a rendering, but it's just actual, you know, design of a ring. So as you can see, there's 3 orders in the queue with just, you know, 21 feedbacks. So this is actually, you know, a very interesting niche, and is definitely not as mainstream as, let's say, video editing or something like that. And let's see how many people are actually offering this kind of service. 2,500. So it's definitely a niche, guys, you know. And let's look at some of these other examples. Again, this is what it looks like when you have a technical specification. So as you can imagine, you know, we take these things for granted. You know, we go to a store and we see this, you know, bracelets and stuff like that, and it's just like, oh, it's easy. But look at how it actually looks. Like, in order to manufacture this stuff, it's actually not that simple. Okay, so there needs to be drawings, and, you know, you need to send this stuff to a manufacturer in China, for example, and they will manufacture, but they need these kind of technical drawings. So, you know, if you find a client who is looking to launch their own jewelry line, you can then offer your service to them, get a few of these suppliers' works, and say, look, here's the works that I have. Here's the portfolio. I can offer you to help you to launch your own jewelry brand. And then you, of course, going to drop service from one of these guys. And, you know, of course, look into the feedbacks, and because this is, again, more advanced strategy. It's, you know, it's to do with physical 3D products, guys. So, you know, you cannot afford to make mistakes, and your supplier has to be really good. Let's look at this guy. You know, he is showing, I think, the renderings but are these his renderings? We don't know, because it's showing a popular brand. He's talking about 3D watch animation. So I think what he is essentially offering, he's offering for you to make 3D designs of watches. So if you want to launch a watch brand, you could use this guy, but he doesn't have any feedback, so I would be careful with that, guys. Okay, next we're talking about 3D rendering. If we're talking about 3D rendering within the product design niche, 3D design niche, I'm mostly talking about products. I'm not talking about interiors. I'm mostly talking about products. So for example, let's look at this one. So the rendering is basically a visual representation of a product, how it would look in the real world, and it is rendered with shadows and things like that. And what is this useful for? Well, it is useful for people who already have a 3D design and a specification, but who want to know how this product is actually going to look in the physical world. And if you render this product, then you can actually rotate it and you can really look at it before it goes into manufacturing, or before you even make the prototype. Actually, you can then look at this screen and you can really understand whether this product looks like something that could be commercially viable. Okay, so and here's the thing, guys, with 3D rendering, it is really, really, really important to do these things, and almost every single product has gone through a 3D rendering phase before it went into prototyping phase and 3D modeling phase and stuff like this. This is, guys, absolutely super important, because if you do this, it actually saves you time, because the last thing you want is to start manufacturing, then realizing that, the dimensions are wrong or whatever. So that's why 3D rendering is super important and is used very, very often, guys. Okay, now let's talk about the absolutely different, completely different product category, but which is somewhat related to the previous one. So it is, of course, packaging, guys. So first, let's talk about food packaging. So let's look at some of these examples. So for example, this one, as you can see, it's showing some of the examples of food packaging that they do. So coffee, sweets, crisps and chips and stuff like that, chocolates, guys. And of course, when we're thinking about this specific niche, we're talking about specifically food. And how many potential clients do you have across the world? We're talking about millions of companies, because food is pretty much the most consumed product, I think. And all kinds of food packagings exist. It can be in different materials, so paper, plastic, glass, and all kinds of things. So in this category, you have supplements, you have boxes, you have all kinds of tea, coffee, salads, and all kinds of things. So this niche is very, very broad, guys. And again, you can find so many brilliant food packaging designers on Fiverr to then resell this outside of Fiverr, at least 10 to 20 times higher profit, guys. Product design packaging. Okay, now let's look at this one. So we were talking about specifically food, but here we're talking about physical products that are not consumable. Okay, so for example, let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. I'm going to show you a few examples. So for example, here, I'm talking about the packaging that is this. Okay, so it's not a food product. It's a different kind of product. And, this guy, for example, has really good experience. As you can see, the design is actually not too bad. It's quite good. And it seems like he knows what he's doing. Again, let's look at this one. Okay, this guy, again, can create you the packaging for these kind of products. Then we can look at these kind of examples and these kind of examples, so there's absolutely crazy amount of these 3D product packaging designers on Fiverr. So it's very easy to find one, and you can easily make 10 to 20 times higher profit by reselling this in the Western world. Now, product label design is the next niche that we're going to be talking about. So here specifically, I'm not really talking about the entire packaging. I'm just kind of talking about the label. So for example, in this case, the label is only not really the shape of the product. It's more about just the actual product label. So for example, if you see this is the label, okay, and this entire entire bottle is actually kind of like a packaging of the product, but this is just the label. So I'm specifically talking about just the label in this niche, guys, and it's a completely different niche. So as you can see, this niche is very, very, very good. And this is how these labels usually look like. There is a barcode, there is a description, there is some warnings, there is the contents, what it includes, like how many capsules and stuff like that, guys. There is a lot of things that you need to be aware of. So your client will probably explain you the requirements that they need, but also you need to, if you consider this niche, if you consider going into this niche, you again don't need to have any graphic design experience, but you need to really research what kind of product, logos and stuff like that are required by law, depending on the country, what kind of contents pages are required and stuff like this, guys. So you need to be really careful, and this strategy is definitely advanced, guys. Okay, now guys, let's talk about the next one, which is SEO. SEO category is absolutely very, very popular. Very many providers who are providing this service in the SEO space. Again, guys, SEO, there's a lot of different aspects to it. There is white hat SEO, there is black hat SEO. So basically, there is SEO of custom websites, there is SEO of like Wix, Shopify, WordPress, and similar kind of things. So these are a lot easier, and these are like for small, websites. And it's more about just really optimizing a simple website to have more visitors and to index better on Google and similar kind of search engines. But then again, there's other people who are actually looking into on-page SEO. So meaning on your own website, you can actually improve the SEO by improving the structure of the website, placing the right keywords within the website, and when it comes to off-page SEO, it can be, articles pointing to your website. It can be, backlinks pointing to your website. So, if you find a client who's looking for SEO, you should first, of course, understand that there is on-page SEO and off-page SEO. Then, you should do a little bit of research before you actually start landing clients. And then, when you understand fully what your client is looking for, you can go on Fiverr and then find a supplier who is specifically able to actually deliver that kind of service. Okay, guys, now let's talk about the next one, which is YouTube SEO. Okay, so now let's look at some of these examples. So on YouTube, it's the same thing like Google. In order to actually get more views or visitors to your videos, to your channel, you need to actually optimize your tags, descriptions, keywords, and stuff like this. And there's people on Fiverr actually offering this specific thing. So I know it may seem like an easy thing, but actually this isn't that easy. And that's why people are actually charging money for it. For example, here, as you can see, SEO score is 100. So meaning that this person is displaying that he's actually able to optimize this to 100%. I think this is a screenshot of vidIQ or TubeBuddy. And as you can see, there's 8 orders in the queue, which is actually pretty good for the number of feedbacks that he has. And he is kind of showing like, oh, he optimized the video and it gets more views, which is actually really, really cool. Again, guys, there's a lot of these people who are offering these kind of services, so you need to be careful about the pricing variation, okay? You don't want to pay too much. So you want to find something that is actually decent price. And in this case, usually if you look at the top 20 or so listings, you can kind of see the trends. So for example, here I can see the trend that prices kind of go from 10 to 35 bucks. Let's go down again, up to 50 bucks there, 40 bucks there, 150, 700 there. But this looks more like kind of like promotion of the entire channel, okay, not just videos. And this is more for like one video, okay. But anyways, guys, what I'm saying is you don't want to overpay, so you really kind of need to do some research. And in this category there is competition, so it's 7,000 services available, so there is definitely going to be a lot of much lower priced gigs in there as well, guys. So now let's talk about the next niche, which is Amazon seller SEO. So a lot of people are actually selling on Amazon these days, and in order to actually stand out on Amazon, you really need to optimize your listings. And what I'm talking about people and sellers who are actually selling their own white label or their own private label or actually their own manufactured products, okay. And in order to do really well on Amazon, you have to not just do really good product research, create really good products, have it in stock, create the listings, run some ads, whatever. But you also need to do product ranking work. So what it means is basically optimizing your listings, stuffing it with keywords to make sure that it actually ranks really well for the category and for similar products. As you can see, with just 14 feedbacks, this guy actually has 4 orders in the queue. Another thing, guys, I just realized, by removing the previous word in here, now just leaving Amazon SEO, actually I got a lot more results. Let's look at some of these things. So for example, this guy is actually really good at optimizing Amazon listings. So he's offering copywriting, SEO, and keyword research. As you can see, 13 orders in a queue, 3 orders in a queue there. So yeah, description created, premium SEO, keyword research, enhanced content optimization, and all made by hand according to what he's saying. All the right keywords, unique bullet points, powerful descriptions. Guys, this is really important. And you need to find Amazon sellers and help them to actually rank. The other thing is, guys, eBay SEO is the same thing. Again, on eBay, if you're a seller, you need to really, guys, stand out and really draw as many visitors to your eBay shop. And in order to do that, guys, you need to do SEO optimization. Again, guys, this requires a lot of keyword research and copywriting and stuff like that, and you can find people on Fiverr who are actually offering this stuff. So for example, for $60, he is going to provide you 50 product SEO optimizations. So that's really cool. Let's look at this one. 20 eBay listings with research and stuff like this, guys. Okay, guys, if you're considering to get into this niche, because this is eBay SEO optimization, it's not just any kind of SEO. You need to really be very sure that this seller is actually good. So you need to go through the reviews and really analyze if this seller is actually good before you start reselling this gig. Okay, let's now talk about the next category, guys, and this is writing. And the first thing, guys, we're going to be talking about copywriting. As you can see, there's nearly 9,000 sellers on there. And what is copywriting? So copywriting is basically where you actually write like a sales kind of page or a blog post or something like that, that actually the point of it is to bring more traffic, to bring more sales to a particular brand or website. And guys, here's the thing. It is very, very important to actually have good copywriting for a lot of e-commerce brands. So as you can see, there's 3 orders in a queue for this guy. And if you're thinking of getting into this niche, again, guys, you need to look at the reviews and you need to look at orders in the queue, because again, this niche specifically, you need to really find a good copywriter, because it is actually quite difficult to write good copy. I know it seems very simple. Oh, you're just writing words, but that's not how it works. And let's look at this, for example, what this lady is actually saying.
Hi there, my name is Lauren, and I am a professional copywriter. I've worked with over 7,000 clients. My success here on Fiverr.
Can you see? That's really cool. So she's been on the cover of Entrepreneur. Guys, here is the thing. You need to really find sellers who are having orders in the queue and a lot of feedbacks. If you do that, guys, you're definitely going to not have any issues. And then guys, of course, if you're reselling this outside of Fiverr, you need to find a client who's going to be paying, 50% more. So for example, if you're paying $100 here, you need to charge your client $200 or more outside of Fiverr. Copywriting doesn't actually have very huge margins, but the good thing of this specific niche, it is basically a recurring niche. And most of the time, if you find a good copywriter was actually, writing some specific articles or sales copy or whatever, your client is likely to come back to you for more work. That's why this niche is also good, but it doesn't have like crazy high margins like, for example, web design or logo design usually would have, because with logos and websites, usually it's a one-off job. So you create a website once and your client might not come back, or might come back for another redesign or something like that much later in the future. So now guys, let's talk about the next one, which is translation. So this drop servicing niche is actually very good for making money. It's kind of not easy as well, guys. You need to really understand what you're doing. So for example, if you, let's say, find a Spanish translator, like how do you know that the translation is actually accurate? Well, here's the thing, guys. You can of course use some tools to then proofread and really check the translation is good. But another thing, guys, how you can actually check this is by finding a supplier who has a lot of feedbacks. Okay, so for example, if you find a client who needs something translated into, like, let's say Japanese, like let's say in this case, right, you want to find somebody who's delivered a lot of orders and you need to look at their feedback. So for example, this one, is really pretty good feedback. Most of these people are leaving 5-star reviews, a lot of saves there as well. Guys, this is absolutely super important, because in this case, if you're let's say finding a client who needs something translated into Japanese, because you are likely not understanding this language, you need to just rely on this supplier. But then guys, you need to of course be super good at finding a good supplier, maybe even jumping on a call, maybe reading all these feedbacks and stuff like this. For example, also read the description about the person. For example, here I can see she's a professor at a university in Japan, native English speaker with degree in Japanese. So, there's a lot of good signs here raised in Japan. So she's a local person in Japan. So it's very likely that she's going to actually translate into Japanese correctly without major mistakes, and the context is going to be very good. Now guys, let's talk about the next niche, which is book and ebook writing. Okay guys, so we've already spoken about books and ebooks, but then we were talking about the actual designs and the cover designs, but here we're talking about actually writing this stuff. Okay, so of course, because what is the book when it has just the cover and just the design? It's nothing. It has to have actually writing. So as you can see, with just 11 feedbacks, this girl has 6 orders in the queue, which shows you that there is actually a lot of demand. Again, 28 orders, 28 feedbacks, 5 orders in the queue, 64 feedbacks, 2 orders in the queue, guys. This is absolutely really cool. And again, look at this, 0 plagiarism. Okay, always unique content, up to 1,000 words, $40. Here we have $40 up to 3,000 words. This is absolutely pretty cool, guys. Let's say 10,000 words, $150. Okay, and 0 plagiarism. This is really good. And also, I really like that, for example, this girl, she actually has very good feedbacks as far as I can see. Well, there is one. It wasn't bad. Content was good enough. Book cover needed improvement. Okay, that's cool. Well, yeah, you have to definitely do, read all of these feedbacks, because again, guys, this is a very very, very sensitive thing. You know, if somebody is actually looking to write their own book, like, it has to be good. You know, they're not going to make the book again. It's not like a YouTube video where you can just make another video and another video and another video. Here they actually are writing one book, and that's it, guys. Like, there is no place for errors. There's no place for, like, you know, words that are lost in translation and stuff like this. It has to be perfect. Okay, so both the writing and the design. And also another thing, guys, if you actually find somebody who's looking to create their own book, let's say business book, romance book, non-fiction book, whatever, right? It is really good that you offer them not just the writing, but then once you start writing the book, well, your supplier starts writing the book, then you can say, you know what, actually, you're going to need the design, the actual, the cover design and stuff like this, the illustrations. Do you want to order it from me as well? And then you can get, one of these Fiverr people to also do that. And then you can upsell your clients. So guys, this goes hand in hand with writing. Design and writing goes hand in hand together. So it's really, really good niche as well. And a lot of business people are actually super, super keen on writing business books, like basically leaving a legacy of, writing a bio book, for example. I've been offered, Tom, I can write you a book on your bio. Like, I've been offered this many times, by the way. So it's a very, very popular thing. And a lot of people are considering that. I'll probably write my own book at some point in the future, but I think I'll write it myself. Actually, I don't want anybody else writing it for me, but there's people who are doing it. Now, the next niche is ghost writing for social media. Okay, this sounds very, very simple. It's like, oh, anybody could do it. Like, why would anybody order this thing? Well, here's the thing. For example, think of people like Alex Hermosi. They're posting on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on so many different platforms every single day, like 5 or 10 times. Like, how is he able to do it? Of course, he's not able to do it. There are people doing it for him. So he has, people were ghost writing and actually even uploading this stuff. He probably doesn't even upload this anymore. Yeah, I'll ghost write social media captions for you. Okay, so, there is definitely a lot of people, who are offering this service. But another thing, guys, is, again, with this kind of service, there's not that many services available, not that many feedback. So you need to be really, 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 considerate of the feedback, and you really need to look into the best people from here. And again, guys, when it comes to ghostwriting for social media, in my experience, at least, the best place is LinkedIn. Because if you think about it, who would actually order this? Most of the time, it's going to be kind of business people. So people were making money from their content. So, coaches, consultants, business people, CEOs, and, people who actually are making money from their content. Regular people were just posting about their food and cat videos and stuff like this. They don't need a copywriter who's actually going to be maintaining their social media, writing some interesting articles about their niche and stuff like this. And also some companies actually need a writer, a ghost writer, who's actually going to then publish blog posts, publish all kinds of posts on behalf of them on their social media, or at least they don't actually post it, but they write the stuff, send it to them, and then, one of their team members will just proofread it and dump it into their LinkedIn page or something like that. So guys, now let's talk about this next niche, cover letters and CV writing. I've actually spoken about this on my channel already, and some of you guys have gotten clients and have made money with this. So here I'm talking specifically about writing. Okay, so previously in this video, we spoke about CV and resume design, but here it's more about the writing and really the editing, the text, okay? Because most of the time when you're actually submitting a resume or a CV to apply for a job, it is very, very important, guys, to make sure that not only the design, but the actual text has to be really good. Have a look at this one, 10 orders in the queue. Have a look at this one, 2 orders in the queue. Have a look at this one, 7 orders in the queue. Okay, so as you can see, there is a lot of demand. And of course, guys, how many people are looking for a job? It is crazy. Like the amount of people who are looking for a job globally are, of course, millions of people every single day. So it is very easy to find people who are looking to edit their CV, and actually modify it, make it better. And here's some examples of this lady. So, she is actually making very good CV, as I can see. It's kind of a little bit stuffed with text. There's probably maybe a little bit too much text, but it's looking pretty good in my opinion. Also, the formatting is quite clear. Also, everything kind of fits on one page, which is a good sign, because some people actually create a CV of like 4 or 5 pages, which is just really bad because no one's gonna read it. Like, if you can, you should put everything on 1 or 2 pages max. Unless you have like 50 years of experience, then it could be 3 pages, but usually it should be 1 or 2 pages. So guys, and in this niche, of course, if you find somebody who needs to edit their CV or resume or even cover letter, you're going to charge them, $200, $250, $300, so around 10 times more than you are paying here on Fiverr. So guys, in the next category, we're now moving on to sound and music. And the first niche that we're going to be talking about is voiceover. Guys, here I'm not talking about AI voiceovers. I'm actually talking about real voiceovers. So people who actually record their own voice. Let's listen to this one.
You making tea? You better make it a good one then. Like you. Technology will help.
You see, I mean, it's kind of difficult to even understand. Is it AI? Is it a real person? But I think this is actually the Matt guy, and he is on here, and I think this is his voice. It's just he has a really good microphone that actually does sound really well. Let's look at this one. 6 orders in EQ, German voiceover.
Moin, ich bin Christian und ich vertone dein Video oder dein Projekt.
I've actually lived in Germany in the past. I think he's saying, good morning, my name is Christian, and whatever. So it's really cool. I can understand a little bit of German. So here's the thing, guys. Again, this is really cool because there's people on Fiverr from almost every single country in the world. So you can find voiceovers in any language. So it doesn't have to be just English. It can be any other one. Let's look at this one.
I know, but we all look at it in a different.
Wow, this sounds very radio, very radio. Guys, here's the thing. So again, with these kinds of things, guys, you really need to look into prices. Price variations can be huge because this is a real person actually actually talking, and the real person actually putting in effort. So that's why the pricing variation can be very, very, very wild. And as you can see, you can select all kinds of languages. There's probably every single language in the world that you can think of, especially the major ones. So you can definitely find a lot of people who are doing voiceovers. And as you can see, there's 28,000 services available in this niche. Next, guys, audiobook production. Now, what do I mean by audiobook production? So I'm specifically talking about people who are actually going to narrate a book. So for example, let's look at this listing.
On the eve of the convoy's arrival in Ottawa, the streets felt more like a...
This is exactly what I'm talking about. So this guy basically, if you give him your book, right, he'll actually read it and narrate it into an audiobook. And this guy is not doing an AI stuff. He's actually reading this book. So yeah, 3 orders in the queue. There's a human touch. And of course, this guy is, is going to be not very cheap because he's actually reading this stuff out loud. And if he makes a mistake, he needs to stop and stuff like this, guys. That's why these kind of services are not cheap. But once this is done once, this can be sold multiple times over. And that's why a lot of people are actually interested in making audiobooks. And if you find a client who's interested in making an audiobook, you can come to this guy called Frank and order it from here. And of course, put your margin on top, 2 or 3 times higher. And guys, again, this is very, very like human niche. So, people are actually putting in real effort, and most of the time people from the Western world. That's why you really, really need to look at these prices. And there's not that many people actually offering this, thing. You can modify the keywords a little bit, for example, including narrate. okay, produce audiobook and stuff like this, guys. But here's the thing, you need to really look at all of these guys, look at their feedbacks, and then, you know, decide which feedbacks are good, which prices are good, and then you can start reselling this service, guys. Okay, now let's talk about this one, songwriting. This is actually a very interesting niche that I wasn't aware of myself until very recently, and I realized that you can actually find suppliers on Fiverr who actually will write songs for you. So believe it or not, this is really cool. On Fiverr, you can pretty much get anybody to do anything for you. Let's listen to this song.
'Cause my heart breaks a little every time.
Okay, so basically she can write a song like this. Let's look at this guy. You know, so this guy can not only write the song, but he can also perform the song, which is really cool. So there's one order in the queue, you know, and this guy can actually, you know, for pretty low price, create you a song, which is really cool. Quite a lot of feedbacks. So yeah, one order in the queue. Let's look at this one. Oh, this is talking about Spanish music. Okay, one order in the queue with just 16 feedbacks. So as you can see, if you find a client who is in the need of writing a song, or maybe the entire album, right? You can find people who are actually going to help your clients to write a perfect song, who will then be able to you know, be performed by these guys, some of these guys, or maybe you just give this you know, text to your client, who will then perform this himself. Beat making. Now, this is a very interesting niche. We're now going like really deep into the music production, but honestly, guys, this is very, very cool. And, you know, let's look at some of these examples to really understand what this is about. Let's look at this one. Okay, so this guy can create you custom beats. Okay, so he can remake a new beat as well. Look, remake a new, so remake of, let's look at this one. Okay, so it's going to be 100% original according to this guy. And when you go into things like that, guys, of course, you need to really consider the copyrights, okay, stuff like this. So, you know, if you're reselling this stuff for a client, you need to really ask these guys. With any niche that I spoke about in this video, you really need to think, and you really need to ask your supplier, you know, do you provide the original copyright? Do you hold the original copyright? And do you transfer the copyright after I pay you for the gig? And, you know, most of the people will, of course, say yes, but just in case, you really need to ask these guys. Let's talk about this one now. Audio editing. So it's not video editing. What on earth is audio editing? He can remove noise, he can remove echo, wind, he can clean up everything, and of course he'll do it in a fast turnaround. So guys, this is amazing. I'm telling you guys, look, 2 orders in the queue there. Again, if you're looking to actually resell this stuff, you need to look into what these guys are actually offering. So for example, pops, clicks, removing noise. Here again, remove noise, wind clicks, mouse clicks, and really repair basically the sound. So here we are primarily talking about people who are making content for like online courses, YouTube videos and stuff like that, when the sound is not very good. You know, I could actually use some of these services myself in some of my videos, but yeah, I just can't be bothered, guys. Now, the next niche, business market research. The first one we're going into here, typing in market research, guys. So when it comes to this niche, guys, market research is very good because look at these juicy prices, you know. And here's the thing, guys, in the business category, all of the prices are going to be slightly higher because, you know, by default, we're talking about businesses. So, you know, if you're selling market research and industry analysis, you know, gigs, reselling it outside of Fiverr, you're of course not going to be offering to individuals. You're going to be offering to small and medium businesses, startups as well. We're looking to launch a new product, looking to launch into a new market, looking to launch a new service and stuff like this. And they need to actually create a market research paper or something like that to then analyze whether it's worth doing some specific thing, whether it's worth launching some specific product or service, guys. Analyze market trends, analyze the audience, and analyze the competitive landscape of something, guys. So again, this is a very, very, very good niche. Not that much of competition. So let's look at how many people are offering this. 3,681. So not that much competition. You can resell this at a lot of profit, guys. So for example, let's say you find a medium-sized company in the United States who is, let's say, looking to launch their products in Europe, and they're in the need of like competitor analysis or something like that. You could easily charge a couple of thousand, maybe 3,000, maybe 4,000 for that really in detail research. And as you can see, if you are, paying $400 to this guy Hristo D, you can charge your clients from the United States 5 or 10 times more for this. So just one order and you make a couple of $3,000 of profit in one go, guys. So this niche is absolutely very, very profitable potentially. Now let's talk about the next niche, and that is business plan writing. Actually, guys, this niche is very, very, very profitable. There is a lot more competition because it's a lot more established. But guys, here is the thing. Why people need a business plan? They need a business plan because they, for example, want to apply for credit in a bank, right? Let's say they're launching a corner food store or something like that. Let's say they're launching a car wash. Let's say they want to apply for funding with some government scheme. Let's say they are looking to get some funding from some, angel investor, VC fund, whatever. A lot of the time, people are required to write some kind of a business plan or financial model like this guy is saying. So as you can see, guys, he's worked with over 400 clients, over 20 industries served, helped raise over 50 million in cumulative funding. Guys, this is absolutely pretty good. I like what I'm seeing. Basically, most of the people are leaving 5-star reviews. Most of the clients, as I can see, are from the United States here. And as you can see, this guy is asking for $2,450 to write a full-blown, business plan. And guys, these prices absolutely realistic. Look at this, guys. For example, $1,350 for a startup business plan. Look at this one, $1,850 for a business plan. And when you think about this, when you look at this, you might think like, what? This is crazy. Over $1,000, nearly $2,000 for a business plan. Guys, this is absolutely normal. So for example, writing a business plan from scratch, let's say you're doing it yourself, like you just have no clue how long it takes. It could take you a couple of weeks of just sitting down and writing. If you need a business plan of, let's say, I don't know, 20 pages, 30 pages, whatever, with, marketing strategies, financial modeling and stuff like that, it could actually take a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks for somebody who's dedicated working on it. So that's why some people just don't want to do it, and sometimes they don't know Excel, they don't know financial modeling, whatever, so they have no choice but to actually contact people who are specialized business plan writers. And I'm telling you guys, these prices are actually super realistic, and there's people paying 4K, 5K, or even up to 7K or nearly 10K for a business plan writing in some wealthy states in the United States. So 5K is definitely not unheard of for business plans. I've actually heard of people paying that much. So I don't know. There is no official guideline of how much the business plan should cost. But of course, it depends on all the complexities and, how much information there needs to be, how many pages and stuff like that. But in general, anything from $500 to $1,000 is definitely cheap. And then when we going towards 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, we are then going to the kind of market value for this kind of service, guys. And again, the price variation for this kind of service can be absolutely wild. So you need to really look and find a good supplier who is actually going to create your business plan for maybe $500, $800, so you can then resell it at, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 to your clients. Okay, guys, the next one is pitch decks. Now, pitch decks is slightly different from business plans. It's again kind of used to obtain funding, right? I've actually spoken about this niche on my channel a couple of weeks ago, and I showed you that this niche is very, very good for actually reselling this, because have a look at this one. Well, most of the time with pitch decks, the prices are actually also very, very high, like it is with the business plan. So for example, let's look at this one, 20 slides, $725. Let's look at this one, $1,485, and it's giving you, it's also giving you a video. Let's look at this one, 15 slides, $2,800. So yeah, crazy prices, and we have free orders in the queue there, and we have free orders in the queue there. Now, guys, again, the key in this, you need to find sellers who are outside of Europe and the US. So ideally people who are in Asian countries, and then it's going to be a lot cheaper, guys. Then we're going to have the arbitrage. Then we can resell it to the US, UK, Australian, and similar kind of clients at a much higher price point to then make money, guys. Okay, now let's talk about the next niche, which is data entry, guys. Data entry, I've put it in the business niche because most of the people who actually need some data entry help, they are, of course, businesses. They need to put some information into Excel, into Google Sheets, whatever. And here's the thing, guys, 3 hours of work with basic details is asking for $5. So what you can do, guys, is you can actually find a company or a person on LinkedIn or through email marketing, and then offer them, look, I'm going to actually provide you data entry work. So just give me the requirements. For example, maybe you need to collect some information, maybe you need to write or modify some text on Google Sheets, on Excel, whatever. Maybe you need to collect some data or anything to do with data entry and simple things without any formulas, right? Without any modeling. And for example, you can negotiate that each hour is going to cost them $15 US. And then what you do, guys, is you go on Fiverr, you find people like this guy, for example, Muhammad, and you then, of course, charge your client $15, pay this guy $5, and pockets $10 for each hour of work that this guy is going to do. And actually here, as I can see, it's 3 hours of work for $5. So that's really cool. So 1 hour is like less than $2. Okay. So if you charge $15 for your client, you're going to be making $13 per hour of this guy working. Okay, so this is absolutely amazing, guys, and this is a very, very simple, very simple niche actually that doesn't require any technical knowledge from either your side or from the freelancer's side, is because it's just simple data entry, guys. Okay, now let's talk about this one. Okay, now this one does require some technical knowledge from the suppliers and not from your end. Okay, so you don't need to know anything about web scraping whatsoever, anything to do about web data scraping and stuff like that at all. But what you need to know, guys, is you need to understand what the principle is. So basically, scraping web just means that you actually get some data in an automated way and then organize it into a Google Sheet or an Excel sheet to then give it to a client who is going to use that data, usually for marketing purposes, online marketing or offline marketing. So it can include the data like phone numbers, it can include people's addresses, people's emails, all kinds of data that you can obtain. And of course, guys, a lot of people are actually looking for this stuff. And usually when this is done well, it can yield very, very great results, because sometimes you can discover a website which actually allows for the web scraping to happen, because not every website actually allows that. Some major providers, let's say Google and Amazon and similar kind of websites, they don't allow these scrapers to easily just get people's emails and information. Like they have like really backstops for this not to happen. But some small websites actually sometimes don't have like really complicated algorithms preventing scraping. So it is actually very realistic to then find a website where a lot of data is almost there for grabs, and these people can just grab a ton of user data in very, very easy automated fashion to then put into Google Sheets or Excel, which we can then go and actually send to our client and of course make money using this, guys. And finally, guys, the final category, ads management, also known as SMMA. A lot of you guys actually know me from my SMMA videos. So I've actually tried SMMA in the past and made money with SMMA. So in the SMMA, most of the people actually deal with managing ads for their clients. Google ads, Facebook ad, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever. But also in this category, I've included organic social media management. So we're going to be talking about it. Now, let's go to Fiverr and type in Google ads. And I've actually opened a few of, sellers who are actually offering to manage Google ads. So guys, this is actually called a media buyer. Okay, so these people who actually manage ads are called media buyers. So if you're actually looking to find a supplier who's going to be, managing ads, and usually these people are also like certified people who actually know how to run Google ads profitably. It is very, very not easy to run ads profitably. Trust me. It's super simple to actually set up ads yourself. I've done it many times. I've ran ads myself. I can set up Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, doesn't matter. But like running it profitably, managing KPIs like this guy is saying, optimizing it, and getting really good conversion rates in those specific categories is definitely not easy, guys. That's why you need to find a good specialist, and I really do not recommend you actually managing ads for different kinds of brands and clients if you have no idea how to do it, because it will just take you a lot of time to really get proficient in that. And here's the thing, guys, in this category, it is super, super important to make sure that you deliver good work, because there is a big possibility of you getting a recurring client. Okay, so a client who's actually going to be signing up, for example, for a monthly fee. And what you can do is you can negotiate with these guys and just be like, look, I have a client that, you'll have to manage ads for. So, and of course, guys, then you negotiate, for example, that for $50, this guy is going to manage the ads on a monthly basis. Every single month, he's going to be getting $50, and you charge your client, let's say, $300 or $350 or whatever per month. And then, you pay this guy $50 and you keep the $300 for you every single month for as long as you're working with this client. A lot of people are charging, $500, $600, $700, even $1,000 or more from just one client managing their Google ads. And also, what is really popular with these kinds of Google ads is also performance based management. So for example, there is no fee, but if you're actually managing someone's ads and if it increases their sales, then you can, let's say, get 10% of the increase of sales since the time you started working with them. And similar kind of performance related bonuses are quite common in this SMA niche. But guys, at that point, of course, you're taking a little bit of risk, but there is a much, much bigger payout potentially at the end of the day. Now, the next thing, guys, we're going to be talking about Facebook ad management. Okay. And of course, this is very similar to Google ads management. But of course, here we're just talking about Facebook ads. So let's open a few of these examples. And yeah, stop showing ads to the wrong people. Let me find your dream audience. So this guy, for example, is showing some pretty good reviews. He has 372 reviews, free orders in the queue, which is quite good as well. And yeah, guys, so yeah, he's going to do the custom ad funnel strategy, free hyper-targeted audiences, and 25 profitable interest action plan. Okay, so this guy, for example, is not saying that he'll actually run the Facebook ads, but he'll do like a one-off setup and research, and then he'll probably leave it for you to actually for example, this guy, I will set up and manage Facebook and Instagram ads. So this is different. This is about continuous setup and management. That's why it's really, really good to actually get clients while looking for regular work. So they want somebody to not just set up their ads once and leave it, but actually then manage it and For example, if you find a client who needs to run these ads, let's say for the next 12 months or maybe a couple of years, you can then get a guy like this, add his email address, add your own email address, add yourself as an admin. So you have to discuss with the client, and add this guy as an editor, and just be like, this is part of my team, and this guy's going to do a little bit of work, but I'm going to be managing everything. And, and then this guy is actually doing the work, and you're just basically communicating with the client, taking the bulk of the money and paying this guy. And of course, guys, again, in this category, there's a lot of competition. So you really need to research this category. Over 31,000 services available. So research everyone, and, find a very, very good seller with very good feedbacks. A lot of feedbacks should be here, guys. And, the pricing should make sense. Now, let's talk about Instagram ads, guys. Again, this is very similar to Facebook ads because you can actually manage Instagram ads pretty much from the same dashboard. Meta Ads Center, it's called. And but again, Instagram is a different platform. So some people, some brands just want to actually run Instagram ads. They don't want to run Facebook ads, or the vice versa. They just want to run Facebook ads. They don't want to run Instagram ads. So that's why you can really find a specific person who is actually able to run Instagram ads. Let's say this guy, for example. I will design professional Instagram posts and Instagram ads. Yeah, 2 orders in a queue, and this guy is focusing on Instagram. Okay, so as you can see, this is some previous clients that he worked with. Here's some examples of sponsored posts that he has done. So that looks pretty cool. Okay, and again, guys, in this category, we are looking at a pretty high number of services. So again, find a lot of feedbacks and also really good price to then find something that you can resell. Now, TikTok ads, this is a completely different thing, guys. Now, moving away from Meta's services, there's much less competition on here, 3,902. And this actually this is kind of like a two-sided thing. Basically, some people actually create TikTok ads, right? So this is more about actually creating the TikTok ads. And here's the thing, 20 orders in the queue. This is cool. Let's look at this one.
So you own a business that needs TikTok video ads. Those ads were on TikTok. And I'll do every link and you'll...
You see? So here is basically this guy is actually, it's almost like user-generated content. So he actually creates TikTok ads. But I'm also talking about actually managing TikTok ads. So this, for example, is what I'm talking about as well. I will run TikTok ads, TikTok ads manager, TikTok marketing, 4 orders in a queue. This is kind of what I was talking about. So yeah, he's going to be setting it up and managing your TikTok ads. So what he's going to do, set up campaigns, set up a TikTok pixel, custom audiences, retargeting, and stuff like that, guys. Okay, so now let's talk about the next niche, which is LinkedIn ads. Now, LinkedIn ads are super expensive, guys. I know it firsthand. I've actually ran LinkedIn ads. They're absolutely super expensive. I've burned through like $1,000 of LinkedIn ads in a span of a couple of days, because LinkedIn is actually one of the most expensive places to run ads. Because of course, the average net worth of a LinkedIn user, I believe, is over $100,000. So, LinkedIn ads are in general extremely expensive, like orders of magnitude more expensive than TikTok ads. And, if you get a lead, for example, if you're, let's say, advertising some, tech solution, some CMS or something like that on LinkedIn, if you just get one client, you can make a bunch of money. That's why brands and companies are looking to actually advertise on LinkedIn, on these lucrative B2B audiences. Now, here's the thing, guys. So what this guy is actually going to do, he'll set up and optimize LinkedIn ads for business. Again, guys, here's the thing. Again, this guy, again, we found another listing of his. Let's look at this. So I'll create and manage LinkedIn ad campaigns to generate business leads or sales. So yeah, LinkedIn is a very good place to find clients And guys, what you can offer them, again, it is to offer to run their LinkedIn ads. And finally, guys, organic social media management under SMMA. I could not include this, guys. So this is basically, I will just be your social media manager and content creator. This is all about these kinds of things. So essentially, we're looking at people, we're just creating content on behalf of someone else. So it's not really like ghost writing. It's more about just creating content in general. So it can be pictures. It can be, it basically just administering someone's social media profile. It could be Instagram, could be LinkedIn, could be TikTok, could be YouTube, whatever. The point is, they give you the logins and you can then really manage their account. So for example, here, set up and manage one of your social media account with one post daily for 14 days for $75. Again, guys, you need to find a client who's going to be able to pay you, 2 or 3 or 4 times, 5 times more than what people on Fiverr are charging. Then, you pay this person does all the work, and you get to keep the most of the money after paying the supplier because you found the client and because you run the communication and everything to do with this client. So for example, this girl can do profile setup, daily posting, scheduling, branded content, hashtag research, organic growth, community management, active engagement, and of course, she's going to be making a creative content for you. Yeah, guys, so this was absolutely amazing. All of you who stayed around till this point, you have looked at so many niches, guys. Over 70 different niches I gave you from, AI, web design, software development, graphic design, video editing, animation, 3D design, packaging, SEO, writing, sound and music, business, and ads management, SMMA, guys. So, you just saw 70 different niches for drop servicing. There's ways to make money online in almost every single imaginable way. Like, what is stopping you to just get started in one of these niches, or maybe try a couple of niches? If you don't find much success, you can try another niche, guys. There's absolutely nobody stopping you. And sometimes people are leaving comments under my videos, oh, I'm not sure which niche to choose, like what to choose. Gave you so many niches in this video, guys. This is amazing. Over 70 niches. Like, honestly, there's just like, this video is honestly gonna have the most amount of niches for drop servicing on the entire YouTube. So guys, make your choice, try a couple of niches, focus on something. When you find a little bit of success, focus on that, nail it, become really good at it, and then you can expand and add another service, guys. So thanks for watching this drop servicing course, guys. Drop a like for the YouTube algo, subscribe to my channel, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.